following is a Rogers Sports presentation.
Playoff intensity starts between the pipes. One goal can make the difference in any given hockey game. They crash the boards. They keep on moving. Pile-ups in front of the net. That's part of playoff hockey and part of what makes OHL so good. All this and more in Game 4 from the Brampton Center. The Brampton Center for Sports and Family Entertainment is going to be a packed house tonight for Game 4 of this OHL playoff series. Erie Otters lead this series 2-1 over the hometown Brampton Battalion. It has been a hard-fought season, Mike Hancock, and a hard-fought series between these two clubs.
Yeah, of course, when you look back to the regular season between these two clubs, the Brampton Battalion did not have very much success against the Erie Otters, not able to beat them in a single outing this year. But in the playoffs, it's been a bit of a different story. But quick starts have to be the key in this game here tonight. Of course, the Erie Otters have done it in the first 3 games, outscoring the Battalion 6-0 in first periods. The Battalion have had to battle back in every game and only been able to do it successfully once.
And very important, right from the start of this series, here's how things started off in Game 1. A big Battalion victory, as Erie has jumped out into the lead in every game so far in this series.
Yeah, we take a look at Brampton's dominance, really, and their comeback win in game number 1. And we see them working well, moving the puck well, and of course, Rafi Torres was the hero with 2 goals in game number 1.
Yeah, but you know, all that changed when they moved to game 2. There is the big goal from Torres, and he has been a guy that has been keyed on throughout this series. Everything changed in game 2. Erie crashed the nets and came away with a big 7-2 win.
Yeah, they struck early and often, especially in the first period. 3 goals, but 3 goals from Corey Pecker, short-handed, were the nail in the coffin in game number 2.
Pecker and boys, they have been the thorn in the side of the Brampton Battalion. This game, shown nationwide, was a big lift for the Erie Otters.
Yeah, the Brampton Battalion didn't get going until late. They showed few flashes of brilliance in that game.
Game 3 was a crash and burn affair. Brampton unable to take control of this hockey game, and it was, there you see Bufflin going along the boards. I'll tell you something, the Erie Otters' big 4 of heavy hitters, led by Brad Yo, have really taken their toll.
Yeah, we're going to have to see who's limping into tonight's game for the Brampton Battalion. We already know Rusty Klusla is on the mend tonight. We'll have to see how much ice time that he does get tonight.
There is the Brampton goal that made it the final, 5-2. So the Battalion are down 2-1 in this series. Mike, what do they got to do to get back in this series?
Well, I think it's pretty simple right now. They have to start off well tonight. They haven't done it in a single game, and special teams are huge. The teams combined in game number 3 of the series, 1 for 14 on the power play. Brampton's got to get the power play going, but more importantly, when they're on their power play, they can't give up any more shorthanded goals, especially here in Brampton tonight.
You know, I'll tell you something. After Game 3, Coach Stan Butler had a few things to say about what it's going to take for his team to be successful.
Well, I mean, we had a chance to win. It was 2-1 and win in the third, and you got to give the Erie team credit. They worked extremely hard in the third and, took advantage of their chances and, came out with the win tonight.
Erie also, their forecheck was pretty aggressive tonight. You guys seem to have a hard time breaking out of your end in the first 2 periods especially.
We just got to make a better first pass, and, at times tonight we didn't do that.
Always a big key for the Brampton Battalion. They've got to take control of the play. And it goes back to game 1 when Rafi Torres went missing in game 2. It was because of a certain incident. And you know what? I know a lot of people that said this shouldn't even have been called a penalty, never mind a suspension, and that's why he was back so quickly in game 3.
All right, and as we're going to take a look at it here, Rafi Torres late in game number 1. The Battalion leading and the Erie net empty, and Raffi just kind of slides underneath his man there, and that was the call that resulted in the 1-game suspension. And you have to wonder how that affected Raffi in game number 3, even though he did score a goal in that game, but how did he get back into the flow?
The Erie Otters are keying on Raffi Torres, and that is the key. We're going to get set for the national anthems, and we'll come back. For first period action here in a packed Brampton Center. And the folks are letting everybody know that we have got a packed house. There is Adam Monroe. He's starting between the pipes for the Erie Otters, and he has been outstanding thus far.
Yeah, in 2 games he started a .917 save percentage, and he's been responsible for both Erie wins in this series. At the other end of the ice, no surprise, Brian Finley will be starting in net, and his goals against average in this series, not so spectacular, 5.42 and an .835 save percentage, but overall in the playoffs so far this season has been a big reason for the Brampton success.
Webb is the referee tonight, and he will play a big part as the teams in Game 3 had a lot of banging along the boards and a lot of 5, 10, and double minor penalties handed out. He has got a job ahead of him.
Yeah, obviously a penalty-filled game on Wednesday night in Erie, and 14 power play opportunities in the game between the two teams, and as we mentioned already tonight, just 1 goal coming on the power play from either team in game number 3 on Wednesday night in Erie.
McClement centering Van Loosen on the right side, Bateman on the left side. Battalion have yet to be in the lead in any of the 3 games thus far. Shot right out in front. Erie will bang it off the boards. Flash tries to cut off Boys. Boys heads to the blue line. Offside is called. Alexeyev was a step ahead of the play.
You had to like what you saw from the Brampton Battalion on that first series. Right off the top, Brampton showing no fear, going hard to the goal, creating some traffic early in this game in front of Monroe. And I think that's going to be a big key to their success, is crashing and banging. As we take a look at Brad Boyes, first-round draft pick of the Toronto Maple Leafs, of course, last spring, and he is the captain of the Erie Otters and definitely their biggest performer and a guy that the Brampton Battalion are going to have to key on tonight, as they have so far in this series.
Boyes centering Birdie. And Alexiev on the right side. Flash inside his own zone. Birdie cut off by Maleko, goes heavily into the net. Finley falls on him, and Birdie's laying on the ice. He has been one of the big guys crashing the boards against this Battalion Hockey Club.
Well, Maleko wasn't going to let him go anywhere near Brian Finley unless he was going to try and go through the net, and that's what he had to do there. As Birdie looked like he went shoulder first into the post, knocking the goal off. And I guess the face-off looks like it will, in fact, come outside the Brampton blue line.
It will indeed. 19:37 left here in the first period of play. But Clement wins the face-off. Maleko controls, gets it cross ice for Flash. Can't get it across the blue line. Battalion coming out a little tentatively here in the early going. Maleko gathers it up across his own blue line. Looking for Van Loosen through the middle, dumps it inside the Erie zone. Bufflin can't get it across the blue line. Bounced off the glass and back to the neutral zone where Flash will dump it back across the blue line. Bouncing puck, Bateman. Alexiev keeps him along the boards. McClement and Alexiev. Now Boyce joins in. Comes away with the puck. Boyce dumps it to Birdie at the neutral zone. Knocked away by Maleko. Battalion will change on the fly as McClement dumps it behind the Otters net. Goliakovo plays it all the way down the ice. Harrison touches this. The keys to victory tonight for the Brampton Battalion.
Special teams, as we've talked about already, neither team was very good on the power play in game number 3. Contained Boyce and Pecker. Pecker absolutely ate the Battalion alive on special teams in game number 2. And no coincidental penalties. Don't need any trade-offs tonight.
That's for sure. Every time Erie gets a penalty, they seem to take a Battalion player with them. That can be costly because the Battalion need the opportunities to be able to put pucks past Adam Monroe. Klesla from the point. His shot partially blocked in front. Baird gets a piece of Klesla. Torres from the side. McSwain leaves it for Havel. Havel allowed to walk out. Backhand. It's a floater in front. Torres tried to bat it out of midair. Played around the dasher. Kept in as Harrison takes the bump at the blue line. Klesla bumping with Nelson. Battalion will play it back into Erie's end. 4 Otters across the blue line. Torres gets it back to the point. Harrison, lots of time, lets it fly right on. Otters will clear the blue line. Torres runs into Nelson. Baird tries to feed Cullen, gets past him. That'll go the length of the ice, and it comes all the way back.
Well, Rusty Klesla jumping up into the play so far very early in this game, essentially becoming a fourth forward. As we look at the keys to victory for the Erie Otters, keep hitting, something that they've done very well in this series against the Battalion. No dumb penalties, and penalty killing has to keep on going, of course, virtually eliminating the Battalion power play in game number 3.
The power play for the Battalion is clicking along at 9.5%. If they can get anywhere between 15 and 20%, this series can change in a hurry.
Yeah, I don't know if you can call 9.5% exactly clicking.
Bufflin goes cross ice, picked up by Goliakovo. Bounced off the boards, back in, waved down as Bonus was caught inside the Otter blue line.
As we look at the scratches tonight for the Erie Otters, not dressed, of course, just Bobby John Bufflin. Not dressed tonight for the Brampton Battalion, backup goaltender Anthony Marshall, and defenseman number 27 Alex McDonnell, also not in the lineup tonight for the Brampton Battalion.
Corey Leclerc takes it in the neutral zone, gets it across for Maleko. Rowan gets it across the Otter blue line. Goliakovo goes in the corner. He's bumped by Thompson. Bounced around the boards, gets by Rowan. Wheeling back the other way is Pecker. Across his own blue line. Pecker through the neutral zone. To the outside. Good job of back-checking from Chris Rowan to break that one up. Gunther tries to get it back to the blue line. Caught up in his skates and clears it to the open wing. Becker plays it back to Goliakovo inside his own zone. Bufflin overskates that one, but gets it through to the neutral zone. Bateman leaves it for Flash, played along the boards. Bonus tips it for Thompson. And Yo clears it inside the Battalion end. And a bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle. And Brad Yo is usually in the middle of the skirmishes between these two hockey clubs.
Yeah, and as we talked about early on, the Brampton Battalion can't bite on any of this pushing and shoving after the whistle. All right, we'll take a look at what Brad Yo's done so far in this series. And of course, he's been responsible for roughing up a couple of Battalion. You'll see his stick will come up here as we isolate things on Rusty Klesla. Stick comes up there, down goes Klesla, and then into the corner, gets his hands and stick up high on Jason Maleko. And both had to be attended to by the battalion training staff the other night.
McMillan bumped in the corner. McClement can't control it. Bounced around the boards by Dixon. Through the neutral zone. Birdie takes the two-line pass. Offside is called. 16:55 to go here in the first period in a packed Brampton Center.
Yeah, not a lot of flow early on in this game. A lot of whistles, a lot of stoppages, and a lot of pushing and shoving after the whistle already here. Not a lot of serious extracurricular activity as of yet, but nonetheless, we're definitely in for a physical affair tonight.
Stan Butler has to find a way for his troops to get around the intimidation factor of the Erie Otters. Bateman and Birdie tussling at the blue line.
And as a result of that, Boys is tossed out of the draw, and Nikita Alexiev will settle in.
Flash from center ice, rings it around the boards, and we'll whistle this one down one more time.
Yeah, McClement obviously maybe a little bit too preoccupied with getting away from Birdie, was just a step offside there as he was battling along the boards in front of the Erie bench throughout that face-off. And now Birdie will line up on the other side this time against Van Loozen and have a couple of words with him.
Off the draw, McClement tries to get it by Birdie. Loose puck, Flash has to retreat. Flash darts his way around through his own zone, leaves it. Here comes Bateman. Bufflin gets it up for Birdie. Across the blue line, tries to draw pass. Boys lets it go. That hit the skate of Jay Harrison. Bateman, giveaway pass. Boys again right on. Finley with the save. Rebound out through the crease. Van Loozen will clear the zone. Gets it across from McClement. Goes off the skate of Bateman and in the corner. Bufflin and Bateman go after it. Bateman rubbed out. McClement follows up. Tries to get it back to the point, and the puck comes to the open wing. Birdie after Flash. Flash steps around his man, gets around Boys, gets around Bufflin, leaves it for McClement. McClement stops, avoids the check. Fired into the Otters bench, and another stoppage in play.
Yeah, we saw in front of the Erie net, the battalion just weren't ready for that puck. And as a result, nobody in front of the net, especially Jay McClement, who was all alone there, couldn't get his stick on the puck right in front of Monroe.
Battalion seem a little tentative when the puck is on their stick, almost like a wide receiver in football who gets clocked once or twice and hears footsteps every time he has to cut through the middle.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to see how that plays out throughout the rest of this game. Brampton has tried and tried again so far, even early tonight here, to assert themselves physically, but I don't think they've done it yet.
This Erie Otters club is a big hockey club. They're a very physical club, and Brampton cannot afford to try to play the hitting game with this club. They will lose that kind of a game. But if they take advantage of their opportunities, when there's penalties like there is right now, the battalion can get to work on the power play, and once you're up a couple of goals, that changes the whole outlook of this hockey game.
Yeah, Rusty Klesla was hauled down coming around behind the goal, and it will be Brandon Cullen going off for roughing. And the Brampton Battalion have a very key playoff opportunity here, power play opportunity here early in the first period to get possibly their first lead in this series in a first period.
Erie's four big bangers that we talk about. Number 12 is Chris Birdie, 19 Brandon Cullen, who just went to the box, then Brad Yo, 25, and Jason Baird, 33. Watch those four guys, and you will see how the battalion need to react. First power play of the evening for the battalion. Klesla didn't see a lot of ice time in Game 3. Rusty Klesla took a big pounding in Game 2. Torres down low, gets it back for Havel. Havel, flash, creating traffic in front. There's the shot from Klesla, deflected in front. That went off the skate of Sean Dixon. Rusty back inside his own zone, set up the breakout pattern again. Boys watching him. Klesla, outlet pass. Very nice one-timer from Torres to Maleko. Back for Torres across the blue line to the outside. Klesla has it go off his skate, and Dixon fires at the length of the ice. Pecker just let it go. Finley out of his net will leave it. Maleko for Klesla. 1 minute left in this power play. Tipped ahead for Torres through the middle. Lets it go for Havel to the outside. Lucas Havel down low, fires it around the boards. Torres has it. Torres bumped along the boards by Bufflin. Comes back to Torres. Cleared to the blue line. Havel picks it up, tries to get the pass across, and that's broken up, and Bufflin breaks away for the Otters, gives it to Pecker, who dumps it down the ice.
And you can see Rafi Torres is mildly upset right now.
Lead pass for Havel goes awry. Icing will be the call as Bufflin touches this one with just 33 seconds remaining in this Brampton power play.
You saw in that play, there's Bufflin going to the bench, and coming through the neutral zone when the puck was heading back into the Brampton end, you saw Rafi give it to him going through the neutral zone. As we take a look at the league playoff scoring leaders, Jason Jaspers from the Sudbury Wolves leads things with 19 points through 9 games, and Erie's Brad Boys is hot on his heels. Boys playing in his 9th playoff game tonight, just a point behind Jaspers.
Off the face-off, Leclerc picks it up for the Battalion. He's allowed some skating room outside his own zone. Leclerc comes out, feeds McClement at the blue line. McClement gets it cut up in his skates, and it's dumped back to the neutral zone where Jay Harrison picks it up. Leclerc through the middle to Aaron Van Loosen. Van Loosen can't get it across the blue line. Harrison will try it again, this time bringing it around the boards. Gets by Monroe. Tip to the blue line. Van Loosen keeps it in. 3 Battalion along the board. Puck comes loose. Cullen hops on the ice. It goes the length of the ice, and Finley's got to be right on top to play it to Harrison. So the first opportunity for Brampton to get out in front goes by the wayside. Van Loosen with a burst of speed to the outside. McClement heads to the front of the net. Comes back to Van Loosen. Backhand goes just wide. Aaron Van Loosen with a great opportunity. Scott Thompson along the boards. Thompson has the puck. Fighting off Boys. Boys in his skates, tries to get loose. Does, makes a nifty play to get around McClement. Here comes Boys. Through the middle. Boys tries to feed Gunther with the puck, and that's McClement taking it away. And it's 2-on-2. McClement and Thompson shot right on. Monroe hangs on for the whistle with 12:55 to go.
You mentioned Joe Gunther there, and of course he played last season for the Buffalo Lightning in the Provincial Junior A Tier 2 League, and he's an 18-year-old rookie in the Ontario Hockey League. You don't see too many of them anymore, but he's made a definite impact this year with the Erie Otters.
That's just some of the packed house here at the Brampton Center. They are door-to-door, wall-to-wall people. Thompson moves in the face-off circle with Pecker. Thompson now away from the face-off circle. Chris Rowan steps in. Rowan wins this one outright. Klesla gathers it up and moves down low. Klesla beats it for Rowan along the boards. Campoli takes the puck away, bounces it off the glass and down the ice. Harrison will touch this. Icing will be called, and they'll bring it all the way back.
You know, Dougie, I think a little bit of Brampton's tentativeness on the power play is really, I think you can look back even to game number 2 of this series when Corey Pecker got the 3 shorthanded goals, and Brampton just hasn't been sure of themselves, moving the puck with the man advantage. And now we're going to see Rusty Klesla head off for slashing, and this will put Brampton shorthanded and definitely into a situation they didn't want to get into this early in the game.
Well, we talked about special teams all season long, and it is no more apparent than in the playoffs. And you could be literally a 500 team when you're playing 5-on-5, but if you have a very good power play and a very good penalty killing, your team will go a long way in the OHL.
Hey, you think about it here with Brampton's lack of success on the power play recently, how much would a shorthanded goal mean to their team on the whole right now?
We got a penalty going right now as McSwain and Boys get tied up deep inside the Otters end, where Kaliakovo was just trying to lug the puck out, and it's going to be Brad Boys going to the box. Now, we talked about dumb penalties as the key to victory for the Otters. The big captain takes a very questionable call inside his own zone on the power play.
Well, there we get our first somewhat trade-off of the evening as we take a look at it again. Erie trying to get things going here, and McSwain gets tangled up with Boys, and it will be Boys heading off, and I don't know, it looked like McSwain might have been the guilty party on that one more than Brad Boys was.
So a 13-second differential between the penalties. Both teams will skate 4 aside. McMillan to Pecker, outside his own zone, leaves it for Alexiev. He pokes it past Maleko and down deep. McSwain goes after him, bumps as does Flash. Comes to Pecker along the board. Looks to get it back to McMillan at the point. McSwain gets a piece of that one. Alexiev knocked flying, and Flash gathers up the puck. To McSwain across center ice. Kurt McSwain as Torres heads to the front. Can't get the deflection in front of Monroe. Alexiev, he can't control it. Maleko gathers it up, gives it back to Flash. Flash for Maleko. To Rafi Torres at center. Torres with McSwain. Torres across the middle, floats one to the front, rebound, huge save from Adam Monroe. Center pass out in front. Maleko's got to hurry back as Pecker's after him, and it goes back to Flash. His open pass looking and intended for Bateman goes awry, and it's Bufflin back to pick it up. Dixon goes cross ice to Baird at the Battalion blue line. Leaves the pass, there's the shot, it goes wide. Bufflin steps in, he floats one wide. Nelson on the outside takes the hit. Comes back to the point. Bufflin tees it up. McMillan shot right on. And Finley kicks that aside. Comes back to Kaliakovo. Over to Bufflin. Back to Kaliakovo. Back for Bufflin. Gets ahead of him. Nelson can't control it. Bufflin plays it to the middle. Goes off of Bateman. Nelson feeds it to Baird in front. Bateman got just enough of him to disturb the shot. Flash. Looking for Bateman, giveaway pass. Bufflin, he lost it. Open wing, this is Corey LeClaire across the blue line. Klesla one-time shot deflected just wide. LeClaire leaves it for Klesla down low. Behind the net for Havel. Havel for Klesla. Kaliakovo clears it, and back the other way as Boys is on. Both penalties over and done with. So we are back skating 5 aside. Gunther. Chasing down Klesla. There's a errant pass as Yo picks that one off. He gets hammered by Maleko. And they'll dump it through the neutral zone, relieving the pressure and allowing fresh troops to hop the boards for the Battalion. McMillan steps across center and dumps it along the glass. It hops into the stands for a stoppage and play. We're halfway through this first period. 9:52 to go. And a scoreless draw in the Brampton Center.
We just saw a couple of minutes of great 4-on-4 hockey. Lots of room out there. Both teams doing a lot of great skating up and down the ice. But right now, when we look at the shots on goal, Brampton out shooting the Erie Otters by a count of 8-2 early on in this hockey game, just past the midway point of the first period. But unfortunately, so far for the Battalion, nothing to show for it.
McClement and Pecker move in the faceoff to take the draw. McClement wins this one. Jonah LaRue centers it out in front. McClement plays it in the corner for Van Loosen. Back for LaRue. Looking for McClement in front. What a great opportunity in front of Monroe. Jonah LaRue with a beautiful pass trying to beat Jay McClement. Becker comes away with the puck. Trying to feed Yo along the boards. Van Loosen tries to tie him up. Offside is called on the play.
Yo spinning at the blue line there. Didn't have possession of the puck when he went over that blue line. But Jay McClellan, here's a guy who's going to have to step it up tonight for the Brampton Battalion. One of their leaders all season long. Very good on the power play. But even strength, the Battalion have to get something done right now. And the Erie Otters have made no secret of it that they feel that 5-on-5 they could be dominant. And they have to stay out of the penalty box to win this series. And so far tonight, they've given up only one power play chance really to Brampton.
Bufflin clears it inside the Battalion end. Goes right through the crease. Comes to the open wing. Maleko after it. McLennan will gather up the loose puck. Gets it across the blue line. This is Aaron Van Loosen. Kaliakovo hammers him at the blue line. Centering pass. McClellan in front. He couldn't control the pass again. Bateman will try to play it back inside the Otters end. And it's taken away by Boyce. He steps across center. Fires a low hard shot. Just wide. Finley let that go, and it just missed the open corner. Flash can't control it along the blue line, or along behind his net. Picked up by Maleko. Maleko dumps one through the neutral zone. Kaliakovo gathers it up, gives it to Bufflin. Boy, Bufflin's seen a lot of ice time here in the early going of this hockey game. Alexiev leaves it for Boyce. Boyce steps in front. Finley with the save. That one's bounced away. Bufflin shot partially blocked by McClellan. He'll bounce it off the glass. Bufflin knocks it down, keeps it in at the blue line, and finally McClellan comes away. Gives it over for Bateman. 1-on-3, Bateman steps across to the circle. Bateman right in on goal. Hammered in front of the net by Sean Dixon as Bateman goes down trying to cut in front. He's going to try to make his way back to the bench. Jeff Bateman rocked by Sean Dixon in front of Adam Monroe.
Bateman was literally a stride away from being able to step around Monroe and tuck that puck home, but he got absolutely hammered going to the net and dropped his gloves right after the hit and headed straight to the bench, and he still hasn't made his way entirely onto the bench. Definitely shaken up. We'll take a look again. Bateman kind of had more time than he thought he did, and then next thing you know, kind of going up and over top of Monroe, he crashes hard into the post. Take another look at it from another angle. And Bateman again here just trying to step around and kind of just goes down more under his own power, but pretty much ate the post there as he went down.
He lost an edge, and as he lost an edge on his right foot, that's when Dixon caught enough of him and hammered him right into the post instead of Bateman would have just slid by and into the corner.
And Bateman appears to have been cut open on the play as well, across the bridge of the nose there and on his forehead. Let's see if they can stitch him up on the bench. Or
that's the kind of hockey player you want. He's down, he's hurt, he's bleeding, but he gets up and he makes his way back to the bench.
Well, we've seen some increased physical play from Jeff Bateman, and he, along with guys like Bonus and LaRue, are the guys who have to keep that physical intensity at a high level.
Rowan down low, feeds it out front. Pecker takes it away. Gives it to Gunther across the center ice area. Floats one right in on Finley. He gathers it up and hangs on for the whistle with 7:51 to go. You're watching OHL Primetime on Rogers Sports. Doug Anderson and the Hammer, Mike Hancock, bringing you all the action in a packed Brampton Center.
So Brian Finley has been chased in 2 consecutive games, both losses for the Brampton Battalion. But Brampton has been cutting down the opportunities that Erie's been able to get so far tonight. Brampton out shooting the Otters by a count of 9-4 now here in the first period. And I think maybe that must have been one of the keys tonight for Brampton, was maybe to ease Brian Finley into tonight's game.
Well, one thing you're going to see about Brian Finley is he's the go-to guy. Brad Topping, as well as he played during the season, will not be starting a playoff game. He will only get in games if Finley is shaky or if Finley is letting in some easy markers, and that hasn't happened in the early going of this hockey game. Pecker behind the net, tries to stuff one in the side. Finley cuts off the angle nicely.
Interesting to see where that puck is right now. I don't know if Finley was able to actually squeeze that against the post, but his glove was well inside the mesh when he was scooping that one out, as Pecker grabs the puck behind the goal here and kind of sneaks out as he grabs it out of the scrum. Gunther going to the goal, but Pecker tucked it just inside the post, and I wonder exactly where that puck did end up, as you'll see Finley's grabbing well behind him, but it looks like the puck did in fact stay out.
Yeah, Finley was just trying to grab the inside of the post to just cut off any leaky spots that might occur. Harrison ties up Yo. Maleko's got the puck. Wholesale changes made by the Otters, allowing the Battalion to clear the zone. McSwain with the puck. For Havel across the blue line. Tries to beat Torres through the middle. McSwain tied up. He's lost his stick. Kicks it to Torres down low. Torres tied up by Dixon. Bounces in the corner. Baird comes away with the puck. Across the blue line. Baird leaving it for Nelson. Nelson looking for Cullen. Tries to feed it across ice, and Finley is there to clear that one away. Nelson down low. Harrison takes the bump. Baird run by McSwain. Nelson hammered behind the net by Rafi Torres, and Torres is going to go to the box for thumping Nelson behind the Brampton net.
Wow, we saw some great battles on that play. Coming up the ice, we had McSwain and Baird going at it, as it was Baird who took away the stick from McSwain in the Erie zone, and then Rafi Torres gets the forearm up and absolutely decapitates Mike Nelson behind the Brampton goal. We'll have to see how this all sorts out, though.
Baird is going to the box for the Otters. We'll have to see if a Brampton player is going with them. And it is Rafi Torres going to the box as well for the original contact as he rocked the world of Nelson behind the net. So Torres not getting...
Well, Rafi's not going off, and Jason Baird getting the penalty. Take a look at this behind the goal here.
There's the first hit, and that's where Baird sidesteps the check. Now Baird is going to get the penalty right here as he stuck Kurt McSwain. We watched the net go right up. That's where he got the penalty, and the arm went up just as Rafi threw the check on Nelson. That's when Baird stuck the Battalion defender down low, so the arm went up at the same time as the hit happened. Maleko lays it across the center ice area. So Baird gets the slashing call. Again, the Battalion have the power play. This is another opportunity they need to take advantage of. Outlet pass to Torres through center. Torres going wide. Boys watching him. Torres, watched by Dixon, gets it back to Maleko. His shot right on. Interesting to see Paul Flash playing left wing. Flash, the man counted on to cause some traffic in front of Adam Monroe. Comes back to Flash at the blue line. He tries to keep it in. Boys takes the hit from Torres. Flash has it, gives it to Maleko. Alexiev watching him. Bounced around the boards, and Havel will pick it up. Lucas Havel inside his own zone for Rusty Klesla. Back for Havel at center ice. 52 seconds remain in the power play. Havel knocked off stride by Bufflin. Gets it over. Cross-ice pass for Flash, and it comes outside the blue line. Flash will start things up again. Big loping stride takes him to the outside. Flash back to Klesla. Lots of time. Klesla steps right in. Hits the post. Rebound. Right on. Monroe with the save. Another shot. Monroe. Huge save from Adam Monroe as the battle continues in front of the Otters net.
This battle isn't going to end anytime soon here as Klesla's got his mitts off, fighting over top of a couple of guys.
Bufflin and Klesla going toe-to-toe. Torres looks like he's on the ground. That is Brad Yo and Paul Flash. Flash has still got his gloves on. So Klesla's going to go to the box. Yo is going to go to the box. Let's take a look at how all this started with a flurry of activity in front of Adam Monroe.
Rusty Klesla with tons of time rings this one squarely off the post. Then the puck is loose and the free-for-all begins. Adam Monroe flopping all over the place. Jay McClellan with probably the best opportunity there, and then everybody piles on here. The sticks come up. Klesla gets his mitts up, and then they come off. So we'll have to sort this out here as Bateman now, as we get a look here, is heading off to the dressing room. But again, as we take a look, a mad scramble in front of the net, and here's Jay McClement, and the huge save by Monroe, and some help from the defense. And then, of course, the whole melee begins. But quickly, as I was just mentioning, Jeff Bateman is headed to the dressing room now. We saw him. He was cut a few moments ago when he ran headfirst into the post, so we're going to have to find out if he's going to return tonight at all.
Likely requiring a few stitches. 13-6 the shots on goal with 5:20 left here in the first period and 27 seconds still remaining in this power play opportunity. But we'll see how that shakes down when all of these penalties are sorted out.
Well, right now it looks like we've only got there's a lot of blonde hair down there. Looks like we've only got two Battalion and one Otter.
Well, Yo is already in the box. Klesla is in the box. Havel is in the box. So this is the type of game that we talked about from the beginning. A hard-hitting affair and something that the Battalion need to stay away from, those double minor penalties, those coincidental minors. They need to be able to take advantage of the power play opportunities like they almost did right there. Boy, what a shot from Rusty Klesla. That was square on the post.
Well, he was ready to shoot when the puck came back to him at the first opportunity, but when he started to wind up, all the Otter defenders began to turn the other way and try to pick up a man so that nobody could get to the rebound, and everybody forgot about Rusty Klesla pinching in from the point and ringing that first shot off the post. And then Klesla slides in with a second opportunity. Jay McClement trying to pick up the garbage there, can't jam it home. And out of this whole situation, we've just got offsetting penalties, 2 apiece.
So Yo and Baird get roughing penalties for the Otters. There's a shot, McClement from the side. 10 seconds left in the power play. Back to Maleko at the blue line. Driswin to the front of the net. Cleared, and a nice job by Kaliakova. In front of the Brampton blue line now. This is Nelson. He's in alone on 3 Battalion defenders. Harrison tries to feed McSwain. That'll go the length of the ice. Icing will be called. Klesla and Flash in the box for the Battalion. Somehow, Lucas Havel got out of that without a penalty.
Well, he was one of the guys at the side of the goal who was one of the first ones to start throwing the lefts and the rights. He never dropped his gloves in that situation, but he was one of the first guys to get it all going down beside the Erie goal. And right now, both teams back to even strength now. It kind of gives each of these teams to get a little regrouped after the melee, and of course try to figure out how all their lines are going to shake out with each team with a number of guys in the box now.
Comes around the near boards. This is Ryan Bonus through the middle as Rowan was tied up at his own blue line. Campley plays it for Baird. He tries to feed Cullen through the middle. Goes off of him. Campley has it back again inside his own zone. McMillan plays it out for Nelson. Leclerc's there to bounce it. It's tipped to the blue line. Bonus tries to feed it for Thompson. Campley lets it roll into the corner and gets it right back. Keeps it around for Nelson as Corey Leclerc pinches in. Rowan will play it back around the board. Bonus behind the net. Ryan Bonus. Campley and Bonus come together.
Let's go. Okay, Cameron, let's go.
Trying to go out in front and hauled down was the Brampton forward, Scott Thompson. Offside is called as McMillan was a step ahead of the play with 3:51 to go here in the first period.
Well, I know the Brampton fans here were looking for a penalty there, but Ryan Bonus got away with one also in the Erie end as he had a good hold of Campoli down there for a good 6 or 7 seconds and didn't let him get anywhere. And now Rowan having a few words here with a number of the Otters as he heads to the bench. But we take another look at it. Thompson takes a hard hit. Bonus takes a hard hit there. And then right here, he'll just wrap up his man for a couple of seconds and try to give Thompson some time to get loose, as Campoli also had his hand on Thompson. So a little give and take there.
Boys centering Alexiev and Birdie. Harrison behind his own net. Harrison feeds it up to McSwain. McSwain for Hobble across the blue line. Hobble stops, feeds it back to McSwain in front of the net. McSwain still on the puck. Very tough on his skates is Kurt McSwain. McSwain hits Birdie from behind, and he's going to the box. Kurt McSwain almost apologetic for it, saying, you know, he just got in the way as I was cutting through that part of the zone. So the man counted on to kill off some penalties here for the Battalion is going to the box himself. And with only 3:28 to go here in the first period, Kurt McSwain takes a 2-minute minor penalty for hitting from behind. The face-off just outside of the blue line. McClement plays it inside the Otters' end. Monroe leaves it behind the net for Koliakovo. Koliakovo in front of his own net, gives it to McMillan. He's watched closely by Jay McClement. Here's Pecker across the blue line. Pecker, he gets hammered along the boards. Battalion play it up along the boards. Gunther does a good job to knock it down. Comes to Maleko, who drifts it the length of the ice. Koliakovo over for Gunther. Cross ice pass. In the skates, but picked up to the outside. Alexiev shot right on. Rebound. Finley with the big save. And a generous ovation for Brian Finley coming up with the big save with 2:45 to go here in the first period.
After Adam Monroe had made a number of circus saves at the other end of the net, Brian Finley makes one of his own in the Brampton goal. We'll take another look at it here as Finley was down and out as the shots kept coming at him. And it'll be Alexiev here cruising through the slot. He'll get the first shot away here. Finley able to make the save. The rebound, the puck is lying loose, and Alexiev is actually the guy who gets to it again. But he was being hauled down as he was going to the net and didn't get everything he wanted on that shot. Finley again down, and Alexiev gets his own rebound. But it's Finley who makes the save again.
1 minute left in the Erie power play. This is Dixon inside his own zone. Dixon looking to go cross ice where Baird picks it up. Tries to beat Boyes. Torres is back to knock him off stride. He'll tie up Brad Boyes. Flash takes the puck, gets it back to the blue line, and Koliakovo can't keep it in, and it goes back through the neutral zone. That allows the Battalion to throw some fresh troops out to kill off this final 45 seconds of this Erie power play. Maleko sends it the length of the ice one more time. Otters having trouble getting things going here in the late going of the first period on the power play. 25 seconds left. They've not been able to set up camp inside the Battalion end. Finley's going to take no chances. He'll hang on for the whistle, and another pile-up ensues, this time to the right of Brian Finley. Paul Flash in the middle of this one. Also in there, Jason Baird, and Baird and Brad Yo seem to be the ones that stir things up for this Erie Otter Hockey Club. They set the tone as to the way things should run. Baird will head off into his bench area, replaced, and who's out there now? A 25, Brad Yo on the left side of Pecker, and Gunther on the right side. Manning the points for the Otters, Campoli and McMillan. Up front for the Battalion, in to take this faceoff is really their faceoff specialist in Jay McClement. McClement, one of the few guys that Stan Butler counts on to take a faceoff in all 5 circles on the ice surface. High floater cleared through the neutral zone. So Flash gets it out of harm's way. Puck comes loose. Van Loosen bumped by Yo. Puck comes loose. Pecker can't control it. Now he gets it over for Gunther, who dumps it inside the Battalion end. Penalty to McSwain is now over and done with. Battalion have successfully killed it off, but here's Campoli. He lets a shot deflected in front. Finley with 2 huge saves, and McSwain swoops in and gets it away to Van Loosen. Across the blue line, Van Loosen and Campoli going toe-to-toe. Campoli does a good job to tie him up. McSwain down low, Flash in front of the net. He gets tied up with Pecker. McSwain steps out, shot right on. And we're going to get Aaron Van Loosen, it looks like, taking a minor penalty. Van Loosen for cross-checking, and the Battalion will have to kill another one off with 1:06 left here in the first period of play. Klesla and Bufflin head back to the ice surface as their coincidental minors are over and done with. The faceoff will just be outside the Erie Otter blue line. Shots on goal thus far have narrowed now to 13-10 in favor of the Battalion. McSwain and Thompson to kill this up front for the Battalion. Klesla, Maleko manning the points. Maleko will take it back inside his own zone off the draw. Maleko fires it the length of the ice and right on net. Monroe had to be on his toes and leaves it for Kaliakovo. Cross-ice pass hits the tape of Boys at the Battalion blue line. Watched by Klesla. Boys plays it behind the net. Maleko tries to get it in the corner. Baird ties him up. Boys gets it back to Dixon at the point. Dixon goes cross-ice. Kaliakovo keeps it in. Baird tries to get it back. Floats a pass to the point. There's one right on. Finley hangs on. So just 31 seconds remain here in the first period. A scoreless draw. You're watching OHL Primetime on Rogers Sports. Doug Anderson and Mike Hancock bringing you the action from a packed Brampton Center. Elsewhere tonight in the OHL playoffs, Ottawa 67s in the first period leading Belleville 1-0. And boy, what a whale of a series that one has been. McClement moves in the face-off circle with Boys. 31 seconds left. Boys wins this one, gets it back to the point. Kaliakovo, here's a shot. It's deflected and goes wide. Cullen and Birdie after it as well. Klesla bumps with his man. The pounding continues as Cullen and McSwain in the corner. McSwain can't tie it up. Puck comes loose and McClement should be able to clear his own zone. McClement does and gets it across center. Steps in, leaves it for Maleko, who plays it in the corner. And that should do it for the first period of play here in the Brampton Center, as the Erie Otters will run out the first period of play by driving it deep inside the Battalion end, where Finley steers it into the corner. And after one period of play, we wait and see what happens for the second period, because it's been outstanding here in the Brampton Center for the first period. The Erie Otters will start the second period with a 54-second power play, as Aaron Van Loosen will still be in the box to kick off the second period. So after one period of play from the Brampton Center, we are scoreless. Coming back with the first intermission, the Hammer has the Battalion's Rafi Torres. Stay with us on OHL Primetime. A scoreless first period in the Brampton Center. Erie Otters and the Battalion, a heavy-hitting first period, and that has been the story throughout this series. And, of course, a 2-1 lead in the series so far for the Otters. We had a chance to talk with Dave McQueen, the head coach of the Erie Otters, and he had some interesting thoughts on this series and the OHL.
Dave, how did you prepare for tonight's game after your great success in game number 2 in this building?
Well, we don't feel that we have to change a whole lot. We just want to make sure the guys are on even keel. There's a lot of highs, a lot of lows in the playoffs, and right now, you know, the Game 3 of the series was probably our best game in the playoffs so far, and we just want to build off of that and hopefully get off to a good start in here.
All right, now when you look back at your wins in this series, how did you see them differ from what happened in game number 1?
Well, we played a complete 60 minutes in Game 2 and Game 3. I thought Game 1, even though we played a pretty solid hockey game, we made a couple critical errors at the start of the third period that allowed them to get back into the hockey game. And we just want to keep the game as simple as possible and, like I said, get off to a good, quick start and hopefully finish and play a strong 60 minutes.
Now, you've been able to chase Brian Finley in this series, something Guelph didn't do in the first round against the Battalion. Maybe your thoughts on Brian Finley's play in this series?
Well, we've been fortunate to get some bounces around the net and fortunate to get some goals. Brian Finley didn't win the MVP in the playoffs last year for no reason. We expect him to come back hard, and he's a battler, he's a fighter. We're not going to let up, and hopefully we continue to get some bounces.
Now, special teams in this series obviously were huge in game number 2 for you guys. How much emphasis have you put on special teams in this series?
Well, a lot. We've always said that power plays will win you hockey games, but your penalty killing will lose them for you. So we want to be very good on the penalty kill, want to keep tracking the puck real well, hopefully limit their opportunities. I'd like to see us be a little more disciplined, whistle to whistle, stay away from the scrums, and hopefully not give them as many opportunities to either get back in a game or take charge of a game.
Now, obviously, tonight, Rafi Torres will probably have a little bit of an extra jump in his step, being his first home game in this series. How do you control him tonight?
Well, I don't think you ever control a player like Rafi Torres. You're not going to hold him off the score sheet. He's a dominant hockey player. He plays both ends of the ice. He's more than just a goal scorer. He's a physical presence out there. We want to limit his time and space and hopefully limit his quality opportunities on net.
Now, finally, to wrap up, what does your team have to do, keep doing right tonight to keep the momentum you guys have built up already?
Well, I think we have to keep the quality chances under 10 per game, and I'd like to see our power play start playing a little better and maybe give us a few more opportunities. But other than that, I don't think we have to change a lot. Just have to keep the guys focused to not get too high with the highs and too low with the lows.
All right, thanks a lot, Dave. Best of luck tonight.
Thanks, Mike.
And Dave McQueen really talking about what it takes to put together a winning series here against the Brampton Battalion.
Yeah, one thing he did focus on in that interview was the fact that a good, quick start by his Erie Otters would be key to this game. And unfortunately, for the first time in this series for the Otters, they haven't scored in the first period, outscoring the Battalion 6-0 in 3 first periods in this series so far. And as Rafi Torres alluded to also in the intermission, this is a big lift for his team going into the second period tied.
Yeah, because they are not down, and this is the first time they have not been down after one period of play. And very important for the Battalion. I mean, needless to say, this is a huge game for the Battalion. If they go down 3-1 going back to Erie, it's all she wrote.
Yeah, there's really, I mean, I wouldn't want to write off the Battalion entirely, but let's face it, the Brampton Battalion are in a must-win situation here tonight at the Brampton Center. And if they go back to, like you said, if they go back to Erie down 3-1, they're in a whole lot of trouble.
You know, no real scoring summary to speak of here in the first period. There was no scoring in the first period, but a great opportunity for the Battalion to jump out. Boy, Jay McClement right at the side of Adam Monroe, and Monroe came up huge for the Erie Otters to keep this a scoreless hockey game. We'll take a look at that one right now. Watch Monroe. He makes 2 big saves. First one, Klesla rings it off the post.
Yeah, it's our play of the period, and it started off by Rusty Klesla here as he pitches in from the point, lets one heck of a wrister go right off the post, and Klesla gets there to get his own rebound, a second chance at it. But keep your eye on Jay McClement moving into the screen there. And it's Adam Monroe, though, making the huge save. And that save was really the key to the first period for the Erie Otters. And then, of course, after that, the whole melee ensued. We'll take another look at it here from the blue line.
Yeah, watch McClement walk right in. McClement goes unmolested and picks up the rebound and is allowed to walk right in and get the shot away. But Monroe with the quick glove save.
Yeah, you can almost throw a blanket around the Erie Otters there. They had 3 men kind of standing around, not moving, looking around, looking down at their feet. And that's really why Jay McClement was able to cruise in there.
And for the Battalion to be successful, they've got to take advantage of the times when Baird, Birdie, and Cullen, they are off the ice. When those guys take the penalties, that's the time for the Battalion to step up and play Battalion hockey at its best. We're going to take a break here on OHL Primetime. We will come back. Stay with us for more from the Brampton Center. We get set for the second period of play. Battalions still have 54 seconds of an Otter power play to try to kick off. Thompson takes it off the draw to Maleko. Fires it the length of the ice. Monroe will glove it and leave it for Koliakovo. Inside his own zone. Tries to step around McSwain. Passes it off to Boys at the blue line. Boys across the blue line. Bounces it off the glass. Pecker behind the net for Boys. Birdie trying to cause a little havoc in front of Finley. Played back. Koliakovo keeps it in at the blue line. McSwain is there to fire at the length of the ice. Alexiev, wrist shot, it just missed, low to the glove side of Finley. Flash takes it and bounces it down the ice, and that should do it for this Otter power play. And Aaron Van Loozen will step back on the ice in 3 seconds' time. McClement has the puck inside his own zone, being chased down by Jason Baird. Plays it through the middle to Torres. 2-on-1, he's got Van Loozen with him. Torres lets it fly. Monroe makes the save. Baird comes back the other way. Lesla pinches in at the blue line. Nelson across the blue line. Stops. Torres watching him. Cullen can't get the shot away. He fanned. And this is McClement to Torres. Back for Jay McClement. To the outside for Torres. Tries to go through the middle. Looking for Rusty Klesla. 3-on-1 back the other way. Jay Harrison the only man back. Lucas Hobble trying to get back in. McMillan shot. And Finley with the save. End-to-end action to kick off this first period. Nelson will touch it. Icing is called. Looks like we got another penalty going against the Battalion, and it's going to be Rusty Klesla going to the box.
Yeah, obviously something occurred down there behind the play, and we're going to actually have offsetting penalties here in this one as Brandon Cullen kind of cruised out of the Brampton end on one knee at the end of that play. He was hurt a little bit, but he seemed to be okay as he headed to the penalty box. But I think we're going to have offsetting roughing minors here behind the play.
The original penalty hammer went to Klesla, but he took Cullen with him. So if you're going to the box, at least take someone from the opposing team with you and even it out. Coincidental minors means we play 5-a-side.
Well, interesting here, we see Paul Flash moving up on the right side for the draw, and Rafi Torres back on the point.
Gunther can't get it across the blue line. McMillan plays it through the center ice area. Flash knocks that down and gathers it up. Flash alone on the outside, watched by Dixon, who pounds him into the boards. McSwain gets it back to Maleko. Maleko for Torres, who dumps it in the corner. Kurt McSwain down low, tries to feed a streaking Torres through the top of the slot, and a 3-men abreast as Yo leads the way. Gunther's wrist shot, rebound, loose puck in the slot, and the Battalion scoop it away. That's Torres. Torres has got McSwain and Hobble. Torres to the back end, in front. Hobble shoots it wide, he's not engaged. Webb's got his hand up, and we've got another penalty going. Pecker takes a shot at Torres. Yo and McSwain down low have tied themselves together.
And this was the kind of second period that Rafi Torres was looking forward to. He said he was really hoping the physical play would continue, and it's definitely done that early on here in this second period as we get another melee at the end of that play. And Lucas Hobble with a glorious, glorious opportunity. Another great chance for the Battalion. Rafi Torres juking and jiving all over the place, gets around his man, and the puck will slide right to Lucas Hobble, rolling, and he can't get his stick on it, and he sends it wide, and Monroe down into the post. Monroe was down for a couple of seconds, but he's up and okay now.
You know, 2 games in a row we've seen Lucas Hobble and Rafi Torres playing together, and boy, what a treat. They know where each other are on the ice at all times, and they both have that ability to make the perfect pass. 17:40 to go in the second period. We still have a scoreless draw as Hobble couldn't control the puck with the open net. Alexiev through the middle, bounce, McSwain. Sorry, that's McClement clearing it inside the Otters' end. Around the boards, Van Loozen has it. Purdy tries to take it away from him. In front, Bateman with the turnaround shot. Jeff Bateman back on the ice and wearing a full shield. Harrison kicks it in the corner. Maleko after it. Around the boards to Bateman. Tied up with the referee Webb. Kaliakovo's shot goes off the side of the net. Bateman, long outlet pass for Van Loosen ahead of him. And Bufflin has to retreat and pick it up. Van Loosen takes a shot at him, and we got Aaron Van Loosen going to the box. Looks like an elbowing call as Brad Boyes has it at the blue line. Elbowing for Aaron Van Loosen. He left his feet to try to get a piece of Kaliakovo behind the Otters net.
Yeah, the physical play continues, but the Brampton Battalion maybe get a little too wrapped up in it there as Aaron Van Loosen got the elbow up a little bit high on that hit. He'll head off for elbowing. And we also got to see Jeff Bateman back out on the ice wearing the full shield. We'll get to that in a moment, but here we'll take a look behind the play. Van Loosen comes in. Well, he didn't get the elbow a little high. He went in elbow first. I don't know how much of him that he actually caught there, but I guess it was aggressive enough to warrant a penalty. And when we talk about Jeff Bateman being back on the bench wearing the full shield, got to see him during the first period intermission icing down the nose on the trainer's table. And he looks like he's okay. Having some stick adjustments now, though, on the bench. As you can see, he was having trouble with figuring out what he wanted to do. And now Hamlin Smith is cleaning out that fresh new visor he's wearing.
Kaliakovo behind his own net. Kaliakovo gathers it up through the middle now. Baird across the Battalion blue line. Feeds it. McMillan shot partially blocked. Comes back to Kaliakovo, tees it up. His shot blocked in front by Baird as he was knocked down. Baird still has the puck. Watch closely. Kaliakovo tries to feed it to the side. They fire it over top of the net. Erie controlling the play nicely. Thompson, he can't clear the zone. Kaliakovo goes wide. Corey Pecker with the puck. Back to Kaliakovo. Shot. Finley gloves it and hangs on. Well, Brian Finley has been up to the task at every Otters opportunity.
And you look at that shot from the point. If that shot was a little bit lower, Joe Gunther was cruising through the middle. He could have got his stick on it. I mean, look at the league leaders among defensemen. And Rusty Klesla slides in there in the number 4 slot. A little bit quiet in this series so far. A great series against Squell Storm. Right now, 10 points after 7 games. Still having a great playoff here for the Battalion.
Face off down low in the Battalion end to the right of Brian Finley. And let's take a replay of Kaliakovo's shot. He had all the time in the world to let it go, and Finley saw it all the way. Kudos go to the Battalion defenders.
You'll see right in front of the net, though, Joe Gunther is right there, and he kind of waves his stick at it as he's going down. But the shot was just high and out of his reach. He couldn't tip it.
Klesla with the backhand goes the length of the ice. 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining in this Battalion penalty kill. Otters wheel outside their own zone. Kaliakovo through center. Good burst of speed. Tries to split the defense. Heads it off. Shot right on. Loose puck in the crease. Over top of the net. Alexiev with a great opportunity. Mirroring the opportunity of Hobble. And he put it over top of the net.
Well, turnabout's fair play. The Erie Otters miss a yawning cage at the other end of the ice now. But I think more importantly on this, we saw Brian Finley get stretched out a little bit. And he's very slow getting up. Of course, Finley missed a good chunk of December and January, and with the groin injury, or what was originally thought to be a groin injury, turned out to be another variation of a leg injury. But we'll take another look at it. Finley's up now. He's not really moving around too much. He's just kind of hanging tight. But we'll take another look at things here as they develop. Coming up the middle, and Kaliakovo makes the nice pass, and it's Boyes' shot that starts this off. Finley makes a stop, but then all the traffic in front of the net gets Finley twisted and turned down there, and he was left hung out to dry in his crease there. And he was very, very slow to get up, but here's the Boyes' shot again, the great opportunity. And Finley right there to make the stop going down, and then the Otters had a great chance that just flew over the net.
Alexiev with a big backhand opportunity, shot it right over top of the net. Boyes inside his own zone. Outlet pass. Picked up down the far side. Alexiev along the board. Tries to feed it back out in front. Pecker gives it right back to Alexiev. Back to Pecker. With time. Goes down low. Boyes feeds a streaking Kaliakovo, and it gets by him and goes through the neutral zone. Just 30 seconds left in the Otters power play. Pecker turning the Jets on inside his own zone. Across the blue line, Corey Pecker beats Jason Barry. He tees one up and lets it rip. That goes over top of the net, and the Battalion will clear the zone again as Rafi Torres leaves it for Maleko. Boys stripped by the puck from behind by Jeff Bateman. This is Birdie, Chris Birdie. There's a shot and it goes wide off the stick of Boys. And Finley is hobbling in his own net, and I think he just may have pulled that groin one more time.
Yeah, Finley was incredibly slow getting up after that one when he went down, and he's feeling it right now. You can see Finley's in quite a bit of pain right now. He's trying to shake it off. We'll take another look at what happened here and just keep your eye on Finley and how he gets up or doesn't get up on this chance here. But the Otters moving the puck well in tight again, and this quick shot here, Finley's got to go down to make the stop, and you can see he doesn't really want to get up after that one, and he's very, very slow to get up.
And Brian Finley's whole game is the butterfly style of goaltending, so you're down and up all game long, and this could be a huge blow to the Battalion efforts. Offside called at the Otter blue line.
Well, we're still scoreless here, a little over 5 minutes into this second period. We're getting to see a lot of great little playoff battles all over the ice tonight, and you know, I guess you really can't make a decision one way or the other who's been winning the battles tonight, but some great battles. Of course, leading playoff rookies.
Wait, what a playoff Lukash is having with Toronto. The St. Michael's Majors are on a roll because of Lukash, and he's been playing outstanding. Finley behind his own net, lays it back into the corner. Otters control it. Down low, right out in front. Yo can't get it as he got stripped of the puck, and the Battalion come back the other way. This is Bonus, leaving it for Thompson. He fires the wrist shot and just had it labeled for the top corner and missed just over top of the net. Flash centers it in the crate, goes off a Gunther's skate, and Monroe hangs on for the stoppage in play.
Well, Scott Dobbin in front of the net, he had a good hold of Chris Rowan, and I think he's just let go of him now. And Dobbin will be heading to the box for interference, so the Brampton Battalion will get a chance here coming up on the power play to finally get on the board.
So the Battalion have been extremely successful in this hockey game thus far at killing off the penalty, something they've been outstanding at in the whole season long. It's the power play where they need to get up on top. There's the quick wrist shot that had it labeled for the top corner, and here comes the penalty, or here comes the play at the side of the net. There's the penalty called right in front.
Yeah, you can see at the right-hand side of the screen as the play was moving up the ice there. Dobbin never let go of Rowan once they hit the blue line.
Paul Flash playing the left wing, and he's the guy they're going to put in front of the net. Bounced off the boards and down the ice. Finley will leave it for Maleko. Nelson watching Maleko. Maleko still has the puck behind his own net. Gives it to Torres. Torres at his own blue line. Across the blue line. Goes cross ice for Havel. He'll stop. Havel has it. Down low for Torres. Raffy goes back to Havel. Looks for the return pass. Flash at the side, and he got it caught up in his skates. Klesla for Havel. Back for Klesla. And it's a giveaway and cleared back to the neutral zone. Baird tries to take it away from Klesla, and Klesla will take it in the corner with 1 minute and 10 seconds left in this Battalion power play. This is Torres to Havel. Good cross-ice pass. Lucas stops at the blue line, tries to feed Paul Flash at the top of the slot, and a good backhand shot by Brad Boyes goes the length of the ice. Havel picks up the loose puck on the break. Good burst of speed across the blue line. He'll stop and play it down low for Kurt McSwain. McSwain for McClement. McClement goes cycling through the corner. McClement still has it. Bounces it off the boards for Lucas Havel. Havel Goes to Jason Maleko. Maleko gives to Havel, and he comes across the blue line. Havel has to back check on this one. There's a huge hit from Kurt McSwain, and he's going to the box again as he hit Brad Boyes, and they're going to call interference.
Well, with just 23 seconds to go in the Brampton power play, again, a penalty you take in your own end on the power play. Not a good one any way you look at it. And McSwain just ran into Brad Boyes right on the face-off dot pretty much in the Brampton end. And now in 23 seconds, the Erie Otters will go back on the power play.
So most of this hockey game has been played with somebody or another in the box, whether it's an Otter player or a Battalion player.
Taking another look at how this play developed, and you'll see McSwain comes late into the picture, and Brad Boyes long gone with the puck, and he nailed him. And that's why Mr. McSwain finds himself in the box, and the Brampton Battalion will find themselves shorthanded in 23 seconds.
So McSwain gone with the interference call. Pecker moves in the face-off circle with McClement. Pecker ties his man up. Puck comes loose. Lesla picks it up. Goes cross ice for Jeff Bateman. Bateman for McClement. McClement steps across center and dumps it inside the Otters' end. Bufflin. Derek Bufflin along the boards. Yo bounces it toward the neutral zone again. And that should do it. 2 Dobbins penalty as the Battalion control the puck inside their own zone. Harrison to the open wing for Jay McClement. Dobbin bounces him along the boards. McClement can't get it loose, and Yo steps up. Good job by Bateman to break that one up as Yo had Pecker heading to the front of the net. Veliakovo to Pecker. He tries to get it across the blue line. Bouncing puck, hops over the stick of Rafi Torres. Harrison dumps it along the boards. Bateman should clear the zone, gets it through to Torres. One-on-one, Torres and McMillan. Torres stops and plays it back to Maleko at center ice, who gives it to Bateman. Jeff Bateman tries to sidestep Veliakovo, and Torres will play it back into the neutral zone. Battalion controlling the puck nicely. Maleko with time will dump it inside of the Otters' end. Goes off the skate of Yo. Pecker follows up across the blue line. Leaves it for Gunther. He lets one fly. Finley hangs on for the save.
Brampton doing a great job to control the play while they're shorthanded. And Brian Finley again was there for the stop, getting up a little bit more easily that time, not showing any effects now of that earlier possible minor injury he may have suffered, but he's looking good now, got up quickly. And the Brampton Battalion doing a very good job shorthanded now, 41 seconds remaining in the Kurt McSwain penalty.
18-15, the shots on goal now favoring the Erie Otters. The Battalion had led the shots on goal department for most of this hockey game. Boyes wins the face-off outright from McClement. McMillan plays it back to the point. Goes off a skate. McClement almost stole that one away from McMillan. And here comes Van Loosen. Aaron Van Loosen. He's got Jay McClement with him. To the outside. Lost an edge, but played it in the corner nicely. Aaron Van Loosen. Just 20 seconds remaining in this Otter power play. Battalion doing a good job of hemming the Otters up inside their own zone. Flash and Maleko manning the point. Flash beaten by that one. And Alexiev got the opportunity in front of Finley. Finley very slow to get back to his feet. And we got another penalty to go here.
Looks like it'll be an interference call going against the Erie Otters.
And it's Chris Purdy going to the box. I'll tell you something, Webb has called an outstanding game here so far. He's not letting it get out of hand, and he's making sure that when something goes awry, he's right on top of it. His positioning has been excellent in this hockey game.
Nikita Alexiev, of course, the first-round draft pick of the Tampa Bay Lightning, rumored to be very close to signing with that club. And we actually caught up with him after game number 3 in Erie.
Well, you know, I'm really excited. It's the best moment in my life, one of the best moments, and a step closer to playing in NHL. And, you know, gotta just, you know, sign a contract and play just my best in the rest of the playoffs. So hopefully go Memorial Cup and, you know, and then do good in training camp in Tampa, and then we'll see what's gonna happen.
Nikita Alexiev of the Erie Otters. And boy, he would look good in a Lightning uniform.
Yeah, that Tampa Bay Lightning team starting to assemble some very exciting young players, and of course the most exciting being Vincent Lecavalier right now, but you see Nikita Alexiev put together a few brilliant rushes and of course responsible for one of Erie's best opportunities so far this evening, but of course both clubs coming up empty so far.
So battalion power play as Chris Birdie's in the box for the next minute and 51 seconds. Torres, Bateman, and Hobble up front for the battalion. Naliakovo gets it to the blue line. Nelson can't get it out as Klesla does a great job to fire it back in. Bounced off the boards and down the ice. Klesla, as Nelson watches him, takes the hit. Klesla still has the puck, gives it off for Jason Maleko. For Rafi Torres, tied up, back for Maleko, it goes off a skate. Bateman can't control it, and Baird gets it across the blue line and dumps it into the battalion end. Erie allowed to change their front two as Pecker hops the boards with Brad Yo. Battalion can't get things going in this power play opportunity. There's a minute left. Outlet passes Maleko. It comes right back to him. Steps across the blue line. Hobble to the outside. Naliakovo gets it, and Yo will clear the zone as he takes the hit from Rusty Klesla. Klesla across center ice. Giveaway pass, and Pecker almost was sent in alone. It just squirted off his stick.
Neither team right now really able to establish any kind of presence on the power play as we got just 30 seconds left in the Brampton Power.
Flash alone in his own zone. Fires the pass through the middle. Hobble has it go off his stick. McMillan's there to bounce it off the glass. Comes back to the blue line. Harrison keeps it in. Hobble come back to Harrison. He gives it away, and Pecker for Alexiev. Right in. Big long stride. Hits the post. Rebound. They score! Corey Pecker.
Well, once Nikita Alexiev had stepped behind the Brampton defenders, you know that there's nobody on this Brampton team who can catch him, and Corey Pecker was left all alone as both guys went right to Alexiev, and another shorthanded goal given up by the battalion. And here you see Alexiev just fly by Rusty Klesla. He gets the initial shot that goes off the post. Finley is now down and out. Both defenders turn away. Jay Harrison goes to the corner, and Corey Pecker left all alone in front to bury the puck.
The whole mistake was not that Alexiev was in alone, but that nobody took Corey Pecker. They should have been looking back to take the remaining man in on the play. So a shorthanded goal yet again for Corey Pecker.
Pecker's fourth shorthanded goal in not even 2 games here in Brampton in this series.
Birdie is back on the ice, and the battalion power play is over. McMillan inside his own zone. McMillan falls to the ice as Thompson follows up with the puck. Jonah LaRue tries to get it out in front. This is Boys across center, dumps it into the battalion end. Finley will leave it for Leclerc, for LaRue. Sidesteps his man, Jonah LaRue with the puck. LaRue across the blue line, tries to feed Bonus, and it goes into the corner. Bounced off the boards. This is Yo. His pass goes off McSwain. Kurt McSwain still has it. Gets it over for Leclerc. Leclerc turns and drifts one deep inside the Otters end. 7:53 to go here in the second period of play in the Brampton Center. A packed house is watching the Erie Otters lead the battalion 1-0 on a shorthanded goal by Corey Pecker. Giveaway pass. Hobble turns, gets it to Torres. Backhand fires it just wide. Harrison can't control it. Klesla plays to Torres. Torres with a burst of speed to the outside. Torres watched closely by McEwen. McEwen and Torres come together. Hobble in there as well. He tries to center it out in front. Torres so strong on his skates. Raffy with the puck to the top of the circle. Torres trying to bounce one in front to Kurt McSwain. And Yo will clear it the length of the ice. 7 minutes left in the second period. 20-15 now, the shots on goal favoring the Erie Otters.
Well, a goal for the Brampton Battalion is going to be huge here. They need a goal before the end of this second period, I think, just for a flat-out emotional lift. This team has given up another shorthanded goal, and I mean, you saw the way they reacted to it after the puck went in the net. And this is 4 shorthanded goals in this series for Corey Pecker. And it's tough to rebound from that, especially when your power play gets out there on the ice again. You always got that in the back of your mind, that Erie is just eating them alive.
You don't want to take that extra chance in front of the net and go for the goal. What you want to do is just not give up the goal in the power play, and that can be a killer just as bad as killing off a penalty. Play goes into the corner. Van Loosen plays it behind the net for McClement. McClement tries to feed it out in front. Still has the bouncing puck. Jay McClement around the board. For Jeff Bateman down low. Bateman trying to get around Dixon. Feeds it for Van Loosen. Back for Bateman. Back for Van Loosen. Shot! Loose in the crease and cleared by Nelson. Baird ties Klesla up along the boards, and another stoppage in play, and another melee ensues with 6:21 to go.
It looked like Baird had a handful of Klesla's mask there as they went over the blue line. And of course, once the officials got involved there, the fist came up, and somebody's just been given a 10, I think.
Klesla looking to go with Cullen. Both guys have dropped their sticks.
Not much point on Rusty's part in getting involved in this right now. And he'll head to the box and take his penalty.
Cullen's heading off to the dressing room. He's gone for 10, so it looks like it was Cullen the one getting the misconduct. We'll sort this out again as Webb trying to take control of this hockey game. And again, it's been a very feisty hockey game from both ends of the rink. And there you see the full shield that Jeff Bateman is wearing. Obviously took a few stitches from going head-to-head with the goalpost in the first period.
Yeah, we'll still have to see how Jeff Bateman is able to respond to that. He's looked a little tentative in the shifts he's seen here so far in the second period. Getting used to that visor as he flips it up, and you can see across the bridge of his nose, not looking too healthy there. He's got that bandaged up quite well, and I'm sure not liking the full visor too much.
Yeah, the players get used to the half visor, and they also get used to tipping it back a bit for a little better vision. So the full visor is really like going back to midget hockey or going back to bantam hockey for Jeff Bateman.
Still nothing on the board here right now. Likely Cullen received 2 and 10, and Klesla will just receive a 2.
As you said, nothing has been on the board, and that's interesting because Webb has already stepped away from the timekeeper's area. So now he's just explaining it to Maleko and Yo, and they'll go over and explain it to their respective coaches, McQueen and Butler. We're going to see, it looks like Aaron Van Loosen heading off to the box as well. So the battalion may get the extra 2 in this one. Van Loosen gets the misconduct, and he is going. Van Loosen was original with Cullen that both got misconducts. He was the original one that we saw down low.
Wow, so a pair of 10s handed out here on a play that started somewhat innocently, really, with Baird just getting his face, or his hand up in Klesla's face and giving it a little bit of a wash. And we almost saw Klesla and Cullen drop the gloves by the end of it.
Well, how this is going to shake down is we're going to see an Erie Otter power play. we will not see the Otter power play as another battalion forward is stepped on the ice. That is Lucas Havel on the far side. So Torres, Havel, McSwain up front, Flash and Maleko manning the point. You've got Yo centered by Pecker and Gunther on the left side. And on the point is Koliakovo. Here comes Havel through the top of the slot. Gets it over for McSwain. Shot. And Monroe makes the save.
Still seeing a lot of stick work, pushing and shoving after the whistle, and I think that little break might have really been a benefit to the Brampton Battalion right now. A couple of seconds to get regrouped, and Lucas Havel still showing his feistiness there.
Well, Brad Boyes, as we see him leaving the ice surface, Boyes is just headed off to his dressing room, so we'll have to see what happens. That would be a huge blow if Boyes is gone for any length of time here for the Otters.
You can see Boyes walking with a definite limp there.
And Boyes took a shot off that ankle in about the midway point of the second period, off the stick of Rusty Klesla. And as we know, because we've seen Klesla since day one here in the OHL, he can fire the puck. McMillan, as McSwain runs over him. Pass out in front. Havel can't control it. Dixon tries to wheel away. Havel gets a piece of him. McSwain from the far side. Battles along the boards. Havel comes away with the puck. Tries to feed Torres in front. Bouncing puck across the blue line. 5 minutes and 45 seconds to go here in the second period. Rafi Torres across center as Maleko goes down heavily, and we got another Otters penalty. Maleko getting up, and now Jason Maleko, all he needs to do is skate away, because Corey Pecker is going to the box. No, sorry, that's Nelson going to the box. Mike Nelson is gone for 2 minutes.
We'll have to see what happened. Hopefully we caught this on the replay, but Maleko went down like a ton of bricks, and now we've got linesman taking care of one of the Otters on the play there.
Yeah, that was Jason Baird getting the worst of that one with one of the linesmen. Then Rafi Torres has gone to the box as well.
So Maleko over at the Brampton bench. He's got a towel to his face. Looks like he may have been cut open on the play. We'll take another look at it. Maleko moved the puck as he slides this backhander behind him. And then these two will come together. And he all out delivered the left right to the face of Jason Maleko. Nothing hidden there.
No elbow, no shoulder, just a left hook.
So it's Mike Nelson here, as you'll see, gets the stick on Maleko initially, and Maleko will just slide this backhander by him, and then actually it may have been a butt end. I don't know if it was just a punch or a butt end, but Maleko, as you see him, still not too happy as he's been cut open. He's bleeding from the nose. Take another look at it here. We'll slow it down for you as Maleko will turn, and he will move the puck on the backhand, and you'll see Nelson will now slide. Yeah, that was an all-out butt end.
That was an all-out butt end. One of the dirtiest plays in hockey is a butt end, and that was a classic example and a textbook example of a butt end, as Nelson is gone. Mike Nelson with the butt end on Jason Maleko, and Maleko took extreme success. There's a shot right on. Moreau hangs on for the whistle, and again, Birdie comes together with Harrison.
So as everybody comes together there at the end of the play, the Brampton Battalion with 5:04 to go in the second period will still be looking to put some pressure back on the Erie Otters, as Erie out shooting Brampton 20-18 right now. And we'll take a look at our leading playoff goal scorers. Corey Pecker with a number of them shorthanded in this series alone. 8 goals, and Brad Boys 7 goals. 2 of the top 5 leading playoff goal scorers in the O right now.
And if we talked about Brad Boyce leaving the ice surface and heading off into the dressing room, we have not seen his return as of yet. There is 5:04 to go here in the second period.
Well, he's scheduled to be our second intermission guest. We'll have to see if that turns out to come to fruition in the second intermission. Obviously, we'll be able to talk to him and find out about the injury if he is able to join us. But I'm sure he's being worked on by the training staff right now. The Erie Otters will definitely need him back the rest of the way tonight. Some more confusion on the ice being sorted out. And Jason Malenko now having a word with the linesman.
Face-off down low inside the Otters' end. Yo to take the face-off with McClement. Gunther comes away with the puck across his own blue line. Through the center ice area, brings it around the boards. And Gunther talked the worst of that one on the near side. Corey Leclerc gathers it up, plays it for Lucas Havel. Bouncing puck, Leclerc has it poked away from him and still gets it to the center ice area. Havel comes away. Kaliakovo stands across center and dumps it inside of the Battalion end. At the blue line, bounced back inside the Battalion end. This is Leclerc. Outlet pass gets by Bateman and through to the center ice area. So for the 4th consecutive game, the Erie Otters have got the first goal. McClement with a burst of speed through center. To the outside, Koliakovo watching him. McClement feeds to the open wing. Flash lets it go. Huge glove save from Adam Monroe. Then he got run over big time. Koliakovo and Bateman. Now Harrison getting into it at the top of the circle with Brad Yo. Well, Bateman's going to the box. In games 1 and 2, Brian Finley was run over big time, and the Battalion have not forgot that.
Trying to give some payback here as Brampton putting the heat back on. They slide this pass across to Paul Flash, who's coming off the bench. He lets the big shot go. Monroe reaches back with the trapper, and it's Bateman who upends the goaltender, and that's the initial penalty, and then everybody gets involved after that. Take another look at the opportunity here from Paul Flash coming off the bench along the right side, lets the shot go. Big save, and then Bateman's got his eyes set on Monroe's legs and just gives him the old Hansen right behind the legs.
I'm not sure that Paul Flash knew exactly how much time he had to let that shot go. I think he could have moved in another 10 or 12 feet and still had plenty of time to let it fly.
That is a lot of room if he could have moved in another 10 or 12 feet, but he got a good shot away. I mean, Monroe came up with a real big glove save, so Flash obviously now taking advantage of some of the offensive confidence that Stan Butler's put in him tonight, moving him up on the power play and into different situations up on the wing.
Yeah, Stan Butler trying to give this Battalion power play a little different look by putting a big man like Paul Flash in front of Adam Monroe. McSwain at the center ice area. Kurt McSwain gets around Jason Baird. McSwain still has the puck. Kaliakovo now jumps in. McSwain tough on his skates, and he'll take McMillan down with him inside the blue line. Offside is called with 3:37 left here in the second period. Erie Otters leading the Battalion 1-0. 20-19 the shots on goal thus far.
So we see Torres and Nelson are back out for their respective clubs. And the faceoff will stay in the Brampton end at the top of the faceoff circle. And we saw at the tail end of that play, Corey Pecker and Rusty Klesla come together, and Klesla now having a word with the official, trying to straighten things out here as Pecker will get ready to settle in for the faceoff.
Rusty Klesla saw limited ice time in game number 3 in Erie. And we touched on Klesla fighting through an injury. He got his bell rung, Klesla did a couple of times in games 2 and 3, or games 1 and 2.
So Baird and Harrison mixing it up along the left side on the draw there. So Baird will now take Pecker's spot in the Erie face-off circle, and Thompson slides in for the Battalion.
Klesla takes the shot from Baird. Along the boards, McMillan after Klesla. McMillan around the side. Finley cuts the side off and hangs on. Harrison takes exception with Baird along the boards, and Jay Harrison's going to be going to the box. Boy, Baird has really done his job of stirring things up to the side of Brian Finley, and they're letting it get to their heads as the Battalion defenders are going to the box in succession.
Well, the Erie Otters are setting the trap, and the Brampton Battalion are walking right into it. And we saw Rusty Klesla given a rough ride there by Baird, and Baird was trying to goat Klesla into dropping the gloves, and eventually after the play you saw Harrison skate right after Baird and go after him, and that's where the penalty resulted here. And I think you just got a 10-minute misconduct, which is going to hurt Brampton's D. But there you see the little shot from Klesla after the play, and then here we go. Harrison goes right after Baird, roughing him up, trying to get him involved in something. And Baird knows he's done nothing wrong. And Harrison goes after him and picks up what I think will be a 10.
Well, the Otters know. The Otters know that there's only really 4 defensemen for the Battalion. Klesla, and if you can take them off their game, there's a shot right off the crossbar from Becker. McMillan gets it back to Koliakovo from the side. Becker with a shot again. McSwain has it. Kurt McSwain with time clears it. McMillan with a great job. Becker again scores! Corey Becker. As Bateman steps back on the ice, a power play goal for the Erie Otters.
A knuckleball from the side of the goal. Corey Becker put one off the side of the net just moments ago, and the Erie faithful are going crazy here in Brampton. We'll take another look at things here, as on the other side of the ice is where things start off here. And Erie doing a good job to swing the puck all the way across the ice to the open man. And it's Corey Becker here who will let go a little bit of a knuckleball that Finley just waves at, scoots over his shoulder. And things aren't going well right now for the Brampton Battalion. Erie now has a 2-0 lead with 2:54 to go here in the second period.
So Corey Becker comes up with his second goal, this one on the power play. Becker with a shorthanded goal and a power play marker, giving the Otters a 2-0 lead, and Kurt McSwain heading off to the dressing room.
Jay Harrison has now opened the Brampton penalty box door to have an extra word with Mr. Webb, and Harrison wants to head off to the room now with just 2:54 to go.
So the bench getting a little shorter for the Battalion. McMillan with the puck. Plays it for Dixon. Rowan runs into him. Flash. Pinches up. Maleko back to pick it up. Around the boards. Kept in by Yo. Flash will try the other side. He avoids the hit. Flash still has the puck. Tries to get it loose. Torres can't get it out of the zone. There's the shot. Deflected, and that goes up off the glass. Still in play. Rowan finally will dump it into the stands. So with 2:20 to go here in the second period, Corey Becker has given the Erie Otters a 2-0 lead with his second goal of the evening.
Well, we could be in store for a very, very interesting third period. I think it's pretty safe to say we're going to be in store for an interesting third period, but we'll take a look at the out-of-town scores right now tonight. The Belleville Bulls and the Ottawa 67s are knotted up at 2 in the second period. But of course, these physical battles continue. I think for the Brampton Battalion, they're just going to have to forget everything that's gone wrong in these first 2 periods for them. They're only down 2-0, and I mean, nothing has gone right for them, but they are only down 2-0, and they've still got 22 minutes of hockey to play, and they've got to refocus here and just concentrate on playing their brand of hockey.
A couple of bounces the right way, and the Battalion are back in this hockey game. Rowan with the puck for Klesla, leading the rush across center. Chris Rowan, wrist shot, goes off a skate wide, bounces through the crease, backhand to the side of the net. Rowan tries to shoot it again, and this one is gloved and hung on as Torres now gets into it with Kolyakovo. So Monroe hangs on to that one. Another opportunity for the Battalion. 22-21 the shots on goal in favor of the Erie Otters. Chris Rowan with a great opportunity at the side of Monroe. 2 minutes left in the second period. You're watching OHL Primetime on Rogers Sports. Doug Anderson along with the hammer Mike Hancock, bringing you the action from a packed Brampton Center where the Battalion are down by a pair to the Erie Otters and down 2-1 in this best-of-7 series. Klesla lets it fly. Monroe got a piece of that one, and it's cleared across the blue line. Boy, Monroe didn't even see it coming as Klesla let the howitzer go. Havel across the blue line, poked away from him. Baird with the puck, tries to feed Nelson. Nelson stops, tries to go in front. Torres knocks that one down. Nelson now tied up by Leclerc, poked away. Here's a 3-on-2. Torres has got Rowan and Havel. Torres lets it fly, kicked away by Monroe. Torres then goes heavily to the side of the net. McMillan, as Yo lost his lid, and that was Havel trying to tie him up along the boards with a $1:22 to go here in the second period of play. Brad Yo, been one of the instigators thus far, will be going to the box. And we'll see the Brampton power play. Yo has been one of the 4 instigators that the Erie Otters have been using, and we'll see where Yo gets the penalty. There's Klesla's shot off of Monroe. Monroe didn't even see that one coming as it went between Nelson and Torres right in front. Monroe got a piece of that one as it went off his shoulder. Watch Klesla with a lot of time. Tees it up, and boy, when Rusty gets this much time, he usually puts a lot of mustard on it. Monroe just threw his body in front of that one. The big 4 we talk about from the Erie Otters would be Chris Purdy, Brandon Cullen, Jason Baird, and Brad Yo. Off the face-off, Nelson gets it back to Maleko at the point. Maleko dumps it around the boards. Flash tied up with Dixon. McClement tries to streak it and get it. It's played around the dasher. Klesla will keep it in as Baird's right on top of him. McClement bounces along the boards. Dixon tied up with Torres. McClement can't get away with the puck. Battalion, this is a big opportunity with a minute to go here in the second period. McClement shot down low. Torres has it again. Klesla following up. Torres still with the puck. Goes cross ice for Maleko. Feeds one to the front of the net. Bounces off a maze of bodies. Comes to the blue line and is kept in by Rusty Klesla. Klesla going for Torres. Watched by Dixon. Torres still has it. Trying to set things up. Flash causing a little disturbance in front of the net. Nelson fighting with him. Comes to Klesla. Tries to sidestep a check, and we've got Paul Flash for cross-checking Kolyakovo in front of the net. So on the power play, Paul Flash takes the penalty with just 27 seconds to go here in the second period. And that will negate the Brampton power play. So we'll play at 4 skaters aside for the next 27 and a half seconds. Then we'll start the third period off. Now watch Paul Flash in front of the net. That was Torres running into his man. It's Flash's cross-checking in front of the net is where we get the penalty and why Flash is in the box. So the Battalion sending out. Here comes Flash right now as he cuts in front of Monroe. He's got Kolyakovo, his back to him. The play comes to the side of the net, and this is where Flash knocks Kaliakovo down. He steps one back. Kaliakovo tries to move out in front. And Flash puts him to the ice right there. Bateman inside his own zone to Maleko. Watched closely by Alexiev. Alexiev over for Bateman now to the outside. Jeff Bateman trying to make his way around. Bufflin comes back to the point where Klesla steps up. That does it for the second period of play, and a little bit out of sorts for the second period of play. When we come back with the third period, both teams will have a guy in the box. Brad Yo will be in for 37 seconds, and for 1 minute and 32 seconds, Paul Flash will be in the box. So Klesla leads the charge to the dressing room. Battalion need to get things back in order. They need to regroup and come out storming in the third period. After 2 periods of play here in the Brampton Center, a 2-0 hockey game for the Erie Otters. Corey Pecker with both markers here in the second period. Stay with us. We'll come back with the second intermission as the Hammer, Mike Hancock, should have Brad Boyes if he is available for our second intermission. Stay with us on OHL Primetime. So again, after 2 periods of play, Erie Otters leading the Brampton Battalion 2-0. 2 goals by Corey Pecker in the second period has been the difference, both on special teams, 1 on the power play, 1 on the penalty kill. Corey Pecker has been deadly thorn in the side of the Brampton Battalion. Let's take a look at our in the barracks, and I believe this one is Jay McClement.
Brampton Battalion forward Jay McClement has taken on a more offensive role this season, but still hasn't forgotten his defensive duties on the team.
More of a defensive player, you know. I kill a lot of penalties and things like that. Well, not as much as last year, but last year I was strictly defensive, and this year I'm scoring a little more goals than usual.
McClement leads the team with 24 goals in only his second season with the OHL squad. Despite the increase in scoring, Coach Stan Butler still has the confidence in the young forward to play a two-way game.
But he's still a very responsible defensive player as well, and a lot of times we try to play him against the best offensive center of the other team.
The Kingston native's impressive play has not gone unnoticed. He is one of the 40 players selected to this year's prospects game in Calgary. McClement is touted as a potential first-round pick in this year's NHL entry draft, but is not letting the hype of the game get to him.
You know, there's a lot of guys in our team that have had that pressure last year and this year. You know, Jay Harrison, a couple of us have been touted first-round picks, but I think once you hit the ice, that really means nothing. And when it comes down to it, you just got to perform on the ice.
McClement's teammate Rafi Torres played exceptionally well in last year's prospects game, helping boost his rank in the draft. Now he is offering some advice on playing in the big game.
A lot of people think that these type of games are just, you know, to go out there and, you know, it's all about offense, stuff like that, but it's really not. I think guys that go out there and play physical and, you know, get noticed by playing two-way hockey and not just offense are the guys that make a big impact come June.
In addition to his busy hockey schedule, the 17-year-old McClement is working towards his diploma at Turner Fenton High School in Brampton, where he appreciates the help between juggling both school and hockey.
The teachers are really good to us. You know, they help us out if we're on road trips, things like that, so they treat us pretty good over there.
At the Brampton Center, I'm Nelson D'Souza.
One of the guys that the battalion will count on next season as well, Jay McClement. He has really stepped up his game here for the battalion this season and has really shown that next year he's going to be one of the forces to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and we've definitely seen reason why he's been rated so highly among North American prospects for the upcoming NHL draft.
Yeah, the NHL draft in June, and also with McClement, Jay Harrison expected to go in the NHL draft, either a late first rounder or maybe even an early second rounder. McClement, everybody wants a big defensive defenseman, and Jay Harrison fills that bill very well as well.
Yeah, Harrison has really paid off for the Brampton Battalion. Of course, made the they made Harrison their first ever draft pick in franchise history, and Harrison has been a workhorse for them since day one.
Corey Pecker's been the one to say that they've been trying to throw Harrison and Torres off their game. Corey Pecker has been the difference, and our plays of the period are both goals by Corey Pecker.
Yeah, Erie gets on the board here in the second period. Finally, after a scoreless first period and numerous chances for both clubs. But in this case, to start things off, it's a shorthanded opportunity for the Otters, and it's Nikita Alexiev who bursts by Rafi Torres. He'll let the initial shot go and ring it off the post. And then the puck is just lying there as Harrison curls into the corner, and Pecker is left all alone in front of the net to send it by Brian Finley. Now Pecker's second goal comes also in a special team situation, this time on the power play, as the Otters are able to keep it in at the point. They swing it rink wide here, and this knuckleballer just gets over the right shoulder of Brian Finley.
You know, we talk about how important it is that when you get the opportunity, clear your zone. McSwain couldn't do so, and that led to Corey Pecker's second goal of the game.
Yeah, that was really Erie's only truly effective power play of the evening. Of course, it paid off in the form of a goal, but it was really the only power play where they sustained any kind of pressure on the Brampton Battalion. And McSwain's inability to clear the zone just kind of emphasized Erie's dominance on that power play.
You know, we follow the battalion all year long, and it's always been fun to watch Lucas Havel and Rafi Torres, the way they swing the puck around and the way they move on the ice. But watching Nikita Alexiev, boy, that kid can skate.
Yeah, he's got incredible speed, and he showed it numerous times tonight. First-round draft pick of the Tampa Bay Lightning a year ago in the draft, along with Brad Boyes, also a first-round draft pick a year ago.
You're Stan Butler, and you got your team in the dressing room. Do you say anything to them? Because they pretty much should know what's going on.
Yeah, they have to really put out of their minds everything that has gone wrong tonight. This has not been the best outing tonight for the Brampton Battalion, but hey, they're only down 2-0 heading into the third period. They've taken a lot of penalties tonight. Both teams have, but it seems like things have worked out for the worse for the battalion.
Other scores from the out of town around the O. Let's take a look right now as Belleville leads Ottawa there late in the second period. The Bulls have jumped out to a 3-2 lead in that hockey game. Boy, that's turning out to be a great series as well.
Yeah, fantastic series. Ottawa's really stepped up to the plate, and although coming into that series as the underdogs, have really come out and set the tone in that series with Belleville.
Well, let's take a break here on OHL Primetime. We're going to come back with more from the Brampton Center and the start of the third period of play on OHL Primetime. 2-0 is your score from the Brampton Center. The Erie Otters, led by Corey Pecker's pair of goals, lead the Brampton Battalion. And to say this third period is huge for the battalion is an understatement. They're down 2-1 and heading back to Erie.
Yeah, as we've talked about tonight, the battalion definitely don't want to get into the situation where they're going to be down 3-1 tomorrow night in Erie. You don't want to say it's suicide, but the battalion would face an incredible uphill battle. But at the same time, Brampton has faced an uphill battle in every single game in this series, as we've mentioned tonight as well. Erie has scored the first goal in every game in this series.
And they need to take control here in the third period. The players know what they have to do, and they know they can't afford to go to Erie down 3-1. So really, what they need to do is stay away from those penalties that we said is their keys to victory. And maybe we can bring up those keys to victory if we can, because for the battalion, it's been stay out of the coincidental minor penalties. That's been the big one.
Yeah, well, of course, the biggest one that's maybe the most glaring penalty that the Brampton Battalion have taken was Jay Harrison's 10-minute misconduct at the end of the period. Harrison went out looking for Baird at the end of the play, went after him, and then right away, referee Webb dinged him with the 10-minute misconduct, and now the Battalion D gets a little bit shorter, and we're going to get to see probably a lot more of Corey Leclerc in this third period.
And as vicious as he's been at some points, Baird was very smart in that play, in the fact that he made Klesla his target and took the hit from Harrison, who went off for the extended period of time.
Yeah, and the bangers that we've talked about all game long have done their job for the Erie Otters tonight. They've thrown the Brampton Stars off their game tonight, bottom line.
And that's what it's going to have to change in the third period. We're going to have to watch guys like Torres storming the net. We're going to have to watch guys like Maleko turn into an offensive role. These teams need to get back on track. The battalion really need to get and think offensive hockey for at least the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, there's still 20 minutes of hockey to play. It's only a 2-goal lead. There's no reason for the Brampton Battalion or their fans or everybody watching at home to give up on them at this point. I mean, it isn't only a 2-goal lead, and the Brampton Battalion definitely have enough firepower to fight back here in the third period.
Absolutely. As you say, a 2-goal lead is not insurmountable in OHL hockey, especially when you've got the forward lines that the Battalion can throw at the Otters. Here we are in the third period of play as Adam Monroe steps between the pipes, and he has been outstanding when needed.
Yeah, each team has really had some glorious chances that they haven't been able to capitalize tonight, and mainly it's been as a result of good goaltending. Sure, a few shots have gone wide of the mark, high and over the net, but for the most part, Finley and Monroe have been phenomenal in goal tonight. And the shots on goal as we enter the third period of play are even at 22 apiece.
I got to ask you, Hammer, Brian Finley went down about 6 or 7 minute mark into the second period, and it looked like that recurring groin problem. Do you think that's going to play a part in this third period, or is that something that he could put straight out of his mind?
I think it's going straight out the window in this third period. This is the biggest period of hockey in Brampton Battalion franchise history. If they go down 3-1, like we've touched on, they're in a lot of trouble.
The Battalion are going to start the third period off with Jeff Bateman in the box, Paul Flash in the box for the next minute and 32 seconds. And in the box for the Erie Otters is Brad Yeo for the next 38 seconds. So just under the 1 minute mark gone here in the third period. We'll see a 52-second Erie Otter power play. Klesla sidesteps a check. Dixon watching Klesla. Klesla stick handles away to the front of the net. Monroe's going to cover up and hang on. Boy, Rusty Klesla went heavily into the corner boards as Baird was the one on top of him.
And good to see the Brampton Battalion not really going to the referee, looking for a call there. Klesla was hauled down going through the middle, but that's good tough playoff hockey. Rusty Klesla with a lot of moves here, dancing, trying to dance around Dixon. Eventually gets the puck by him, but can't get his body by him. And he goes down, tumbling into the end boards, no call. And we're still in a 4-on-4 situation.
Torres and Bateman up front for the Battalion. Klesla and Leclerc manning the point. You know, Corey Leclerc has seen limited ice time tonight, but he certainly hasn't looked out of place.
Now we're going to get to see more of him now with Jay Harrison off to the 10. Paul Flash also in the box for another minute 23. So we're going to get to see what Corey Leclerc is made of here in the first half of this third period.
Dixon plays it for Baird. Nelson sidesteps the check from Leclerc. This is Klesla stepping up in the play. Bateman takes a shot at Baird, who comes across the Battalion blue line, lets it fly low and wide. Finley slow to get back to his feet, goes into the corner. Klesla smokes Nelson in the corner. This is Leclerc, outlet pass. Torres takes it off the skate, steps across center, fires one right on. Monroe hangs on for the stoppage in play and the whistle. 19:23 to go here in the third period. Just 1 second remains in the penalty to Brad Yeo, and he'll be back on the ice. Erie will have a 5-on-4 advantage.
So Torres let an absolute laser go from just outside the blue line, and the face-off will stay in the Erie end, obviously. A great break here for the Battalion to get the face-off down there, as Brad Yeo is set to step onto the ice in just a second. Of course, they're going to have to hope that there isn't a long breakout pass out of the Erie end to spring Yeo. And this is another big face-off here, just 37 seconds into this third period for the Battalion.
McClement, Thompson, Maleko, and Klesla. Kaliakimo out there with Pecker, McMillan, Yeo, and Alexiev. Thompson sidesteps his man. Klesla plays it back for Maleko. 42 seconds left in the Erie power play. Maleko and Alexiev tied up together. This is McClement coming away. He bounces it, and Kaliakimo keeps it at the blue line. Brad Boyes back on the ice after an extended leave in the latter half of the second period. Klesla stick handling his way in. McClement has it from the top of the slot, and it's bounced back to the blue line. Here's a break as Leclerc hops on the ice. Leclerc and Alexiev goes around him, steps right in, fires the shot that Finley got a piece of. Turn and cleared, and Kaliakimo can't control it, and it's back at the neutral zone. Carlo Kaliakimo, he's seen a lot of ice time. Lets it fly. Finley kicks out the left pad. Alexiev keeps it in the corner. Pecker after it. Alexiev to the top of the slot area. LeClaire gives it away. Comes right back to Pecker. Pecker sidestep at the top of the slot. Bufflin to Dixon, and he fires it back in the corner. Alexiev centers it to the top of the slot. Backhand from Boyes. Another shot. Finley kicks that aside. Battalion trying to weather the storm inside their own zone. They do. This is Bateman across the blue line. Bateman leaves it for Torres. Looking for Bateman on the return pass. Lesla tries to step up in the play. There's a wrist shot. It goes wide. Torres. Baird takes it away from him. Baird steps across center. He's got Yo, and Nelson lets it fly. Finley hangs on. 17:25 to go here in the third period.
Well, moments ago we saw Brad Boyes' first shift of this third period, and it was pretty clear that he is not skating pain-free out there. He was out there to test that wheel out, and you could also see he stayed away from the play for the most part, just kind of floated around on that shift. We'll have to see how much ice time he gets the rest of the way here.
Had a great opportunity, though, from the backhand and fired it just wide from the top of the slot in front of Brian Finley.
Still doing a good job, though, obviously, to be in the right place at the right time.
Lesla, outlet pass. Thompson comes across center. Flips it inside the corner. McMillan back to pick it up. Gets it for Yo. Gets away from him and down the ice. And in a foot race, this is McClement and Gunther. Gunther goes down heavily as McClement gets to the puck first. Icing is called.
That was an interesting call there by the linesman as both gentlemen were down on the ice, kind of looked around and then blew the whistle for the icing call. Less than 3 minutes into this third period, we'll take a look at that play again and see if we can figure out who, if anyone, touched it. And they both fly into the end boards there, and Gunther a little bit slow getting up. But it looks like Gunther really never made any kind of contact with the puck.
Adam Henrik on right wing, and Henrik is one of the first or second shifts we've seen him here this evening. Henrik is a guy that next season will probably see a lot of ice time for this Battalion Hockey Club. Lesla poked away in front. Brad Yo with a great opportunity in front of Finley. He had it teed up and his eyes lit up. Lesla heads to the bench. Flash steps on. Yo touches it on the wrong side of the red line, and it's waved down.
You can see the way that things are going right now for the Brampton Battalion. They're just in dire need of a good bounce. You know, the puck goes one way, a Erie player goes the other way, and the Battalion could have had a great scoring chance there, but things just aren't clicking right now for the Brampton Battalion. With 16:43 here to go in the third period and trailing 2-0.
2-0.
Indeed.
Oh my. Face off to the top of the circle. Dobbin in to take the face off with McClement. Dobbin, Birdie, and Yo up front for the Otters. Flash down heavily in the corner and wheeling away is Henrik. Henrik across the blue line. Henrik as the puck goes right into Monroe. He'll hang on for the whistle.
You know, Paul Flash went awkwardly into the end boards there, and you can see he's still kind of testing out that right knee. Just kind of cruising gingerly around the ice.
16:23 to go here. A 2-0 Erie Otter lead. As we said a couple of times, Corey Pecker with both goals. One on the power play and one shorthanded. Here's Flash getting dumped in the corner, and he just went face first in the corner. Really just lost an edge trying to cut out to the outside. Bufflin along the boards. Baird has it get away from him. Bufflin now feathers it up for Nelson. Two-line pass again, and they'll wave this down.
Try to figure out what happened here. As we've taken a visit to the Hershey Center.
Rafi Torres said to you that they need to come out flying in this hockey game in the second and third period. Well, the second period was all Erie Otters. The third period, this is the time when a guy like Torres needs to step up just one more notch if he's got the gas in the tank.
Wow, Lucas Havel just smacked Baird big time on the leg. Havel continues his no-nonsense approach to things here in the playoffs.
Yeah, you know, Lucas has really grown up nicely in the OHL. He came in as a pure offensive hockey player, but really has worked on both ends of his game and has come up very strong for the battalion in the latter half of this season. Yo has it go off his stick. Klesla retreats to pick it up inside the battalion end. Klesla dumps it into the corner for Corey LeClaire. LeClaire still has the puck. LeClaire pleads it up for Rafi Torres. Torres has got Havel with him. Drops it off. Havel back to Torres. Feeds it out in front. Oh, huge play as Bateman had the open corner and couldn't stick it home. I think Jeff Bateman may have been even a little surprised that that was right on his tape at the side of Adam Monroe. Bouncing puck inside the Otters' end. Here's Baird across center ice. Baird's got a man with him. Tries to get it to Nelson, and it comes back to the battalion. This is Bateman for Havel across the blue line. Havel steps across, feeds it right out in front. Bateman again couldn't control it. Sooner or later, things have to change for Jeff Bateman. He is everywhere he needs to be. Birdie takes a run at Flash. Really going from the blue line full tilt, trying to get a piece of Paul Flash. Thompson leaves it for Bateman. Bateman's shot goes off the stick of Birdie and just wide. Into the corner. Koliakovo, Pecker, Thompson, LaRue. Otters come away with the puck. Flash at center. Will leave it back for Maleko. Watched by Alexiev. Giveaway. Birdie's got the puck. Flash watching him. Centers it out. Thompson's there to play it back into the corner. Thompson for Jonah LaRue across the blue line. LaRue's got Rowan with him. Feeds him the pass offside.
Very close play at the blue line there, and this third period means that it's usually the time when you start hearing the name Chris Rowan. He's a guy who usually tends to step things up in the third period, and the Brampton Battalion right now, I think, would welcome anyone stepping up right now and putting a goal in the net.
McClement centering Henrik and Van Loosen. Bufflin inside his own zone for Koliakovo. Watched closely by 3 battalion forwards. Cullen's shot drifts wide. Around the boards, Henrik right on top of him. Clears the blue line. You can tell he heard the footsteps coming. Corey LeClaire has it. Back for Aaron Van Loosen. Van Loosen for Jay McClement. And that's stopped up at the blue line by Bufflin. Klesla across the blue line again and cleared by Bufflin. Derek Bufflin standing his ground just inside the Otter blue line. Torres replaces Henrik for the battalion. Nelson couldn't control that at the top of the slot. Back to the point. McMillan gets it for Dixon. Dixon feathers one to the front. Looking for Gunther in front. Battalion running a little ragged inside their own zone. Van Loosen to the outside for Torres. Leaves it there. Maleko steps up, lets it fly. Torres right on top of Monroe. Takes the hit from behind by Dixon. This is Nelson hopping through the center ice area, and Torres twists and ties him up. Flash goes in the corner now. Centers it back to the point. This is Dixon. His wrist shot. It goes off a glove of Paul Flash. Then Flash gathers it up and takes it away from his man in the corner. Outlet pass for Jeff Bateman. He goes cross ice. Havel will keep it. Leave it in for Flash. Bateman goes after Pecker. It goes behind the net with 12:39 to go here in the third frame. Pecker on the outlet pass. It gets away from him. Flash retreats and will pick it up behind his own net. Flash plays it to the open wing. Bufflin goes cross ice for Koliakovo. Kept in by Rowan. Steps up. Rowan still has it for Bateman. For Havel. Great. Big save. Rebound. Havel again. Rowan shoots it just wide. What a glorious opportunity. Maleko keeps it in as Birdie takes a run at him. Havel tied up by Bufflin, and he's dumped. And now Pecker trying to goad Klesla into a penalty. What a great opportunity in front of Adam Monroe for Chris Rowan and Lucas Havel.
Well, we are going to have a penalty coming up here to the Erie Otters. It's going to be a slashing call against Koliakovo. So with 12:04 to go, the Battalion buzzing all over the Erie net. And I just don't know how this puck didn't end up finding its way into the goal eventually. And Chris Rowan stepping up his play in the third period, directs it towards the goal. Bateman for Havel. Nothing there. Havel again. Bateman in front of the net. Everybody buzzing around there, and the Brampton Battalion just can't put the puck home. But now they'll get a chance to go to the power play. And they flat out need a goal on this power play opportunity here.
12:04 to go here in the third period. Van Loosen, Torres, and Bateman up front. This line has been together for almost 3 years for the Battalion. Maleko leads the charge out of their own zone. Maleko fires it as Van Loosen's a step ahead of the play, as is Bateman. So with a $1:42 remaining in this power play, and Koliakovo sitting in the box, the Battalion looking to get on the board here in the Brampton Center.
Interesting to see how Coach Stan Butler has now abandoned the idea of having Paul Flash up on the wing on the power play here and going back to the old standby with Maleko and Klesla manning the points and his three big guns up front.
Interesting how the Erie Otters have taken the Battalion fans and the packed house in the Brampton Center out of this hockey game. They are not a factor in this hockey game, and the next goal, if it is by the Battalion, could change that in a hurry. Torres to the point. Klesla has it poked away from him. Baird's got Nelson. Feeds him the pass. Maleko jumps back to the play. Baird shot deflected, and Klesla wheels it away. This is Torres. He's got Bateman and Van Loosen heading to the net. Gives it to Van Loosen. Bounces off his skate. Kept into the corner. Torres does a good job to poke it by Bufflin. Van Loosen bumps Dixon. Puck comes loose. Bateman's got Torres at the side of the net and plays it off the back of the iron, and it goes the length of the ice.
Yeah, with that pass behind Van Loosen there from Torres, you wonder just how safe is Brampton trying to be right now on the power play to not give up another shorthanded opportunity.
This could be an icing as Bufflin's there to touch the puck, and they'll bring it all the way back inside the Battalion end. Jay Harrison back on the ice after a lengthy stay in the dressing room and the penalty box. Now in the third period, Belleville Bulls leading Ottawa 67s in Ottawa 3-2. Belleville's high-scoring machine of the regular season has been held to regular scoring, I guess you could call it, here in the playoffs by the 67s.
Of course, Ottawa leading that series 2-1, and game number 5 in that series will go tomorrow night back in Belleville. Game number 3, the Bulls got their offense going with an 8-2 win over the 67s.
And boy, what a wild up and down series this has been, as Ottawa won the first game 8-1. So it's been a strange series between Belleville and Ottawa. McClement for Flash inside his own zone. Pecker goes after him. McClement along the boards. Alexia pokes it away. Harrison gathers it up. Harrison tries to feed it cross ice for Kurt McSwain. McSwain leaves it for McClement. McClement McSwain trying to cause a little traffic in front. Leaves it for Lucas Havel. Havel. This is where Lucas comes up big. He's got the dipsy doodle effect. Lets one go. Is off of a pair of skates in front, both of McMillan and of Dixon. McClement trying to feed it out in front. The penalty is over to Koliakovo. Centering pass is cleared. Good job by McMillan, standing his ground in front of his own net. Flash through a maze of players to Havel. Havel shot. It's right on, and Monroe kicks that aside. Havel cycles down low now. Centers it out through the crease. Boy, McSwain was tied up. Koliakovo now to Pecker across the blue line. Corey Pecker with time fires it away wide. That'll go around the boards as Campoli picks it up inside his own blue line. Halfway through this third period. Torres gets run over by his own man in the corner. Campoli, watched closely by Bateman, cleared back to the blue line. That hops up into the Battalion bench off the stick of Rusty Klesla.
So with 9:10 to go, Brampton still doing a very good job of moving the puck towards the Erie goal. Just so far, nothing able to pay off for them in this third period, or, well, in the previous two periods either tonight, but Rostislav Klesla doing a great job so far this series and through the playoffs for the Brampton Battalion. He's fourth among playoff leading scorers and defensemen this year. 10 points after 7 games.
And folks, we'll be watching Rusty Klesla next year with the Columbus Blue Jackets. That is a sure thing. Klesla drafted number 4 overall by the Blue Jackets and is looked upon as the Blue Jackets' blue chip defenseman for a lengthy time in the future. Giveaway pass just inside the blue line. There's a backhand. Finley grabs it and hangs on for the save. You know, we talk about Brian Finley, if he will be part of the Battalion lineup next year. He has one more year remaining, but you got to believe he's going to pro hockey next year. And will that make room for the young 16-year-old phenom Biasucci in the Battalion lineup?
Yeah, the goaltending situation will be an interesting one to see how things sort out next year. Brad Topping looks like he is pretty much ready to assume a number 1 job in this league by virtue of his outstanding play in the month of January. He was not only named the Rookie of the Month, but also the Goaltender of the Month in January while he was just filling in for Brian Finley. Taking another look at that, and Jeff Bateman, he knows he's got that full cage on, and he gives Jason Baird a little bit of an extra ride there.
Here come the Battalion, back the other way. Dumped in the corner. Rowan and McMillan after this one. Rowan trying to tie up his man. Played across the blue line as Van Loosen gets in on the fray. Klesla sidesteps the check from Cullen. Bateman runs into Yo at the blue line. Fans trying to get things going here in the Brampton Center. Dixon does a great job of corralling that one. And it comes to Dobbin at his own blue line. Dobbin still has the puck. Bateman watching him. Klesla runs Dobbin into the corner, then lands on top of him. Back the other way is Rowan. Chris Rowan, watched by Brad Yo. Rowan to the outside. Koliakovo ties him up. Puck comes loose. Havel back for Rowan. Rowan steady on the puck. Bateman picks it up. Bateman goes down low. Havel can't shoot it to the side of the net. This is Malenko now. He'll play it behind the net for Lucas Havel. Havel then takes the heavy hit, gets his stick up. Koliakovo goes down heavily in the corner.
Yeah, Lucas Havel showed just how strong he is down there as he was not really taken off the puck to any great degree. We see Koliakovo down after he went in and tried to give Lucas Havel a rough ride down along the boards, but Havel fought back. Here we see Bateman with a great chance in the slot. He slides around, gets the puck down low to Lucas Havel, who kind of fans on the shot from a bad angle, and Havel then gets the stick going down low and behind the goal. We'll see once the play comes back to Havel, still with the puck, caught in his skates, but here, not only the stick, but his right arm and fist come up into the face of Koliakovo.
Lucas Havel really protecting himself in the corner as Kaliakovo was at the icing red line and took a couple of steps towards Havel. Havel braced himself against the boards and just threw the big right hook, dropping him to his knees. No penalty called on the play as Havel stays on the ice. McClement and McSwain up front for the Battalion. Nelson centering Baird along with Brandon Cullen. There's a shot. Kick save from Monroe. McClement tries to feed it to Havel. Bufflin gives it to Baird, who steps across center, plays it in the corner and heads to the bench. Wholesale changes from the Erie Otters. That allows the Battalion some skating room outside their own zone. Flash turns on the Jets, gets across the blue line. Flash watched by Dixon to the outside. Ball Flash in traffic for McClement. In front, Havel takes the hit in front. McSwain gives it to McClement at the hash marks. Jay McClement looking for someone in front. Plays it off the boards, and Bufflin gets it through the neutral zone where Dobbin loses it to Maleko. Yo will play it across the blue line. Erie just holding back now with under 7 minutes to go here in the third period. Bouncing puck. This is Maleko across the blue line. Tries to get around Dixon. He's tied up. Van Loosen looking for someone in front of the net. Lesla steps up in the play. Wrap around. Comes back. Bateman shot. Fired it just wide. Maleko to Torres. He lets it go around behind the boards. This is Dixon. Along the dasher. Bateman knocks it down. Comes back to the point. And that is cleared across the blue line as Maleko runs into Gunther. 6:15 to go here in the third period. Battalion pressing for their first marker of the evening. Bounced off the glass by Campolian down the ice. Harrison is there to get it to Torres. Nice play by Raffi. Gathers up the bouncing puck. Torres tries to one-arm his way across the blue line and is gone to the ice. This is Jay Harrison. The Battalion sending wave of attack in one after another. Torres steps toward the slot. Gets around Nelson. Tries to feed it to the front of the net. Raffi keeps the feet moving. He's hauled down. We got a penalty as Harrison feeds it out in front. Torres knocks it down and finally cleared, and the whistle goes as Harrison has to retreat. Finley heads to the bench, and we'll see the Battalion power play with 5:27 to go.
You could feel that effort by Raffi Torres course through the veins of every Brampton fan in this building as they began to jump to their feet as he fought off every check on the way to the net and finally got hauled down. The only thing the Erie Otters could do to stop Raffi Torres on that play was haul him down. We'll see Raffi Torres here begin the battle along the boards as he takes a bump but keeps on moving. He digs the puck out of the skates. He'll fight off a stick from behind. Another stick. Finally gets hauled down. And that's where the call comes. And the Brampton Battalion have a huge, huge power play opportunity here with 5:27 to go. And it looks like they've called a timeout.
All season long, Raffi Torres has been the heart and soul of this Brampton Battalion Hockey Club. And that piece of action is why you see him as the number 5 overall draft choice in last year's NHL draft and headed to the New York Islanders next season. Raffi Torres, I'll tell you something, is the guy that is going to get, if the Battalion are getting back in this hockey game, that man will be leading the charge.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who steps out on the power play. I'd likely be wagering that it's Bateman, Torres, and Van Loosen, but we might see Lucas Havel out there. So it will be Bateman, Van Loosen, and Torres. Maleko and Klesla on the point. And almost 5,000 Brampton fans here tonight cheering them on.
So a great opportunity for the Battalion on the power play. Nelson will clear the blue line for Erie. Klesla has to retreat and pick it up. Torres goes cross ice for Maleko at center ice. Jason Maleko steps to the outside, stops, gives it back to Torres at the point. He lets the rolling puck go. Bateman gloved that one. Koliakimo and Bateman come together, and Torres has it at center. Maleko plays it around the boards. Bateman and Koliakimo, they come together as Koliakimo takes the worst of that yet again. Van Loosen tries to kick it to the blue line, and Pecker dumps it across and down the ice. Rusty Klesla lugs it across center. Dumps it off for Bateman, who plays it around the boards. This is Lucas Hobble down low. He'll let it go. Torres has to pinch in. Plays it around the boards. Comes back to Torres, and Alexiev clears it down the ice. That allows the Otters to send out 4 fresh troops. Hobble offside. 46 seconds remain in the power play, and a little bit of some sloppy passing by the Battalion have brought the face-off back inside their own zone.
Yeah, the Brampton Battalion have had a tough time getting things rocking and rolling here on this power play. It was still 46 seconds to go in the man advantage. Plenty of time to make a dent here in this 2-goal lead of the Otters.
And how many times have we seen a power play come to a close, yet the team on the power play scores 5 or 6 seconds after the power play has actually ended?
Well, the Brampton Battalion are hoping that they can score a couple of goals in this last 4 minutes.
Jay McClement steps around Yo. McClement with a good burst of speed. Leaves it for Torres. Out in front, the Hobble shot. Monroe got the blocker on that one. Another opportunity for Lucas Hobble. Still has the puck. Hobble steps out in front. Loses control. Clear to the blue line. Klesla to Maleko. With time. Lets it fly. Loose puck at the slot. Cleared down the ice by the Otters. 15 seconds remain in the power play. Enough for one more rush. This is Jason Maleko. Head-manning it up for Lucas Hobble. Hobble stops. Tries to feed it to McClement. Goes in. Centering pass. Klesla shot. Monroe with the glove save. Dixon and Maleko now coming together. Campoli with Monroe down on the ice. Melee is now starting at the circle.
The frustration set in right at the end of that play there for the Brampton Battalion, as Jason Maleko looks like he takes probably a cross-checking penalty. With 3:27 to go, and the Brampton Battalion have thrown just about everything except the kitchen sink at Adam Monroe tonight, and here was a great chance by Klesla, and Monroe got the glove up. Maleko, I think he'll be taking most likely the initial penalty there for knocking over Monroe, and then another cross-check following that, and we'll have to see if he receives, just 2 minutes going up on the board. But we'll see right after this play. You see his stick just swinging around right there as he nailed Campoli. And then everybody got involved again, so we should be in store for an interesting 3:27 down the stretch here.
Well, Maleko's the one with the number on the board. 2 minutes he'll be gone for, so he'll come back with about $1:27 to go in this hockey game.
Well, the Brampton Battalion trying to buy all the time that they can right now. That's Rusty Klesla and Stan Butler trying to figure out their plan of attack here down the final 3:27, and especially another 2 minutes here on the board now. The Battalion will be shorthanded. But Brampton's going to have to press for a goal here.
Here's a breakout pass for Nelson across the Battalion blue line. Fakes the shot, tries to feed it out in front. Torres deflects it. They score! It's waved off as a high stick, got by Finley. So the Otters forward touched the puck over top of his shoulders. That goal is waved off, and boy, what a sigh of relief comes from the Battalion side of the rink.
Yeah, they burst upon the scene there. And the face-off will come all the way back down into the Erie end. A great break for the Battalion there, just 9 seconds into the advantage. And you'll see Finley steps out to challenge the shooter here. And the shot faked. And then you can see as we come through the middle of the shot, the puck just dribbles over the goal line. No doubt about the fact that the puck's in the net, but just before that it had been knocked down by a high stick. And that's why the face-off is down in the Erie end.
Harrison, his shot deflected, and that just missed on the stick side. McSwain battles in the corner. Harrison tries to pinch up. He's got to hustle back to get back in the play as Becker feeds across ice. Bears offside. Game 5 is Saturday, April the 14th. That is tomorrow, 7 p.m. in Erie. So back-to-back games, and if necessary, we're here Monday night, April the 16th, a 7 p.m. start. But I'll tell you something, folks, the Battalion have to get back on top in this one. They need to put a goal on the board. Down 2-0. Corey Pecker has been the nemesis in the Battalion side right now. Both goals this evening. One shorthanded, his fourth in the series, and one on the power play. There's the scoreboard, obviously wrong, showing 8-0. It's a 2-0 hockey game in the Brampton Center. McSwain leaves it for Torres, who steps into one. Monroe and Klesla had the opportunity and overskated the puck. Pecker can't catch up to it as Torres is back. McSwain for Klesla through the middle, goes off his skate, and he'll head to the bench. Battalion change on the fly, as do the Otters, and that's Dixon wheeling back inside his own zone. Outlet pass as Webb and Gunther get tied up inside the Erie zone. .2:19 to go here in the second period. The Battalion have started to set up the attack as the Erie Otters have really moved into a defensive shell for the last 4 or 5 minutes, and that's why the opportunities have been coming to this Battalion Hockey Club. Oh. Flash with time, lets it go, right on, rebound, at the side, Monroe hangs on. And for love nor money, the Battalion can't put a puck across the red line by Adam Monroe.
Well, if that puck wasn't going in the net, I don't know if anything's getting by Monroe tonight, but we'll take another look at this as the draw comes back to the point. McClement does a good job on the face-off. And then the big shot comes from the other side, loose in the crease. Hovel right there bangs it off the post. And the puck stays out and underneath of Adam Monroe.
You gotta believe the Battalion forwards around the net are squeezing the sticks just a little too much. Hovel and Kolyakovo come together. Watch this opportunity as Lucas Hovel. Here's the shot from Paul Flash at the point, and he does his job, lets it go low and hard and right on. Right at the side, there's Hovel. He couldn't stuff it home. As Bufflin, number 20, Derek Bufflin right there. Nelson dives into the crease as well. Boy, Lucas Hovel, an outstanding hockey game. at both ends of the rink. He's been throwing the body around. He's doing what Havel does best. He's being the agitator deep inside of the opposing team's zone. Cullen, Pecker, and Alexiev. Dixon mans the point with McMillan for the Battalion. Torres bumps Pecker off the puck. Right out in front. Finley's got to be on his toes. Alexiev for Pecker to Dixon. Dixon goes cross ice. That comes out of the blue line. They'll wave that one down with a $1:47 left in the third period and just 20 seconds in the penalty to Jason Maleko. Well, this is why the Erie Otters have been successful. Brad Boyes and Corey Pecker. Pecker with 8 goals in 9 games, and Boyes with 7 goals in 9 games. We have not seen too much of Brad Boyes since he got hurt late in the second period. He came back for a shift early in this third period, but has been in the dressing room ever since, or been on the bench ever since. Pecker has led the way for this Otters hockey club. Klesla, loose puck. Gets it for Bateman. Bateman across the blue line. Dixon steps up and dumps it right back to the neutral zone. Cullen steps around Klesla. Tries to feed it back to the point. And Erie is happy just to waste a little more time. As Pecker from center clears it back into the Battalion end. Bounced around the boards. Rafi Torres. Torres floats one. Pecker picks it off. He's to the top of the slot. And scores! Finishes off the natural hat trick. Well, you could see things not going the Battalion way as Rafi Torres hung on to the puck, tried to feed the waist-high pass through the middle, and Pecker, laying low, picks it off, stepped in on Brian Finley, and beat him. There's Pecker picking it off. Flash was going the wrong way, as were the other Battalion defenseman, and that was Pecker going stick side on Brian Finley for the third goal of the game, the natural hat trick. And Corey Pecker single-handedly has beaten the Brampton Battalion in this hockey game. LaRue, Clayton, and Henrik now up front. Cleared by Yo, down the ice. Icing waved off as Harrison's out to pick it up. Birdie bumps him. Henrik turns and dumps it back through the neutral zone. McKeon's there. McEwen. Campoli takes the hit. Henrik tries to run over his man. It's played across the blue line and down the ice where Flash retreats to pick it up. Well, if nothing else, the Battalion need to set the tone for Game 5 back in Erie tomorrow night. They need to turn it up for just the last 30 seconds of hockey. Clayton tries to feed it through the middle. Picked off by Dobbin and bounced back inside the Battalion end. Flash, Yo picks it off, lets it fly. Finley with the save, rebound in front. Loose puck cleared by Harrison. Boy, Brian Finley came up big twice there. Dobbin's wrist shot is low and wide. Flash plays it along the boards. Clayton with the time. He'll get it across the blue line. And 3 seconds remain as Henrik lets it go down low. And that does it for the hockey game. Erie Otters are going back home with a 3-1 lead on the Brampton Battalion. Game 5 tomorrow night. And it was the Corey Pecker show. The natural hat trick in a 3-0 victory. So Pecker, the offensive output. Adam Monroe doesn't let anything by. Monroe outstanding at every opportunity the Battalion could throw at him. The final score from the Brampton Center, 3-0 the Erie Otters, and they take a stranglehold 3-1 lead in this series. We're coming back with more on OHL Primetime. Stay with us from the Brampton Center. And there you have the final score from the Brampton Center. Erie takes a 3-1 lead in this best-of-7 series, a big 3-0 victory. And Corey Pecker, the offensive star of the show for the Erie Otters, all 3 goals, the natural hat trick. Boy, what a game Rafi Torres played for the battalion. As I said earlier, the heart and soul of this battalion hockey club, and he really showed it in this game. And of course, you know, let's go through the 3 stars and show how they came out with. Rafi Torres was our 3rd star in this hockey game. And Torres, as I said, played an outstanding hockey game, and really at every opportunity. There is Corey Pecker with 3 goals tonight, all 3 markers for the Erie Otters. He is the 2nd star. And Adam Monroe, the 1st star of this hockey game. Monroe, boy, he shut down the battalion at every opportunity. We got to go down to ringside with the hammer, Mike Hancock, standing by.
All right, thanks a lot, Doug. Here with tonight's 1st star, Adam Monroe. And Adam, it seemed like, especially in the 3rd period, Brampton threw pretty much everything but the kitchen sink at you guys.
Yeah, we knew they were going to give us everything they had. I mean, this is a big series. I mean, 2nd round, it's always, we beat them last year, and they just wanted to prove to us that they could try and beat us. And I mean, we knew they were going to come out in 3rd period just really strong, and they had to, and last chance pretty much to score a goal.
Now, obviously, it must have been a big part of your game plan tonight and throughout the series to throw Rafi Torres, Jay Harris, and Rusty Klesla off their game.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, those 3 players are a pretty big part of their team. I mean, anytime you can get them off their game, it's always a bonus for us. I mean, those 3 players aren't the whole team. I mean, they got a lot of skilled players on their team, and I think our team's just playing a really good team game right now, and it's really showing.
Oh, we had a very physical game tonight. Maybe you can look ahead to game number 5 tomorrow night back in Erie.
Yeah, it's going to be physical all the time out there. I've been hit quite a bit. It keeps you in the game, though. You can never get out of it. You're always getting hit, and there's always stuff in front of you, so it's exciting to have that.
And finally, I guess to wrap up, I guess maybe your thoughts on Corey Pecker's play in this series.
Unbelievable. That's all I have to say about it. It's unbelievable.
All right, thanks a lot, Adam. Best of luck tomorrow night back home in Erie.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, Adam Monroe, the 1st star of tonight's game. We'll throw things back upstairs to Doug Anderson. Doug?
Thanks, Hammer. Adam Monroe, boy, what an outstanding hockey game. You know, the battalion stormed the net for a good 8-minute span here in the 3rd period, and Monroe kicked them aside from side to side. Here is our play of the game, and boy, what an opportunity. Corey Pecker's 3rd goal of the game. As Torres tries to clear the zone, he floats one through the middle. Pecker picks it off. Torres didn't even see him there, and he beats Brian Finley low to the stick side. Finley going with the play. And Pecker comes up with the natural hat trick, picking it off and going low to the stick side to beat Brian Finley. And Pecker, as I said, has been a major thorn in the side of this Brampton Battalion Hockey Club, and no bigger than this evening with the natural hat trick. 1, 2, 3, shorthanded, power play, and a big 3rd period goal. So we go back to Erie for Game 5. That is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. in a barn that is going to be rocking. The Erie Otters hosting the battalion, and Game 6, if necessary, we will carry it here on Rogers Television. That is Monday, April the 16th, a 7 p.m. start here in the Brampton Center. And I'll tell you something, folks, the battalion down 3-1. This series is not over and done with. This series is far from over and done with. The battalion really need to get the 1st goal. They have now 0 for 4 in this series in getting the 1st goal. So for the whole crew here on Rogers Television, if we are not back Monday night, thanks for joining us for OHL Primetime. It's been a wonderful season. For Mike Hancock and myself, Doug Anderson, we appreciate you watching OHL Primetime from the Brampton Center.